khaki.
We're live, pal. We're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hot Tag Reviews. This time round, we are back with a World Championship Wrestling event. Settle on in and let's get down to it. I'm Rob Campbell, alongside.
I'm that guy, Martin Holland.
I'm Daniel Cornfield.
If you're listening to this on Spotify or Google Podcast in the middle this time round, it said, move your head, Don, so I can read it. Daniel lowering the tone since 88 Cornfield. Apparently, it's very accurate, and that's one of the key reasons that we keep you around. So,
a very good self-diagnosis, that is. Well done.
It is.
They'll only get worse from here. They'll only get worse.
So here we are, another World Championship Wrestling event. It's Uncensored 1997. This is the third version of the event, according to Tony Schiavone, as we get started. Where is it? When is it? It's the 16th of March, 1997, North Charleston Coliseum in North Charleston, South Carolina. Summer khaki, baby.
Summer khaki, baby.
All right, Stevie Wonder.
How does cold?
South Carolina.
Oh,
There's some
fantastic.
glasses, mate. This show's uncensored, just like the pay-per-view we're reviewing.
Yeah, tonight we are in fact uncooked and uncensored, as the Macho Man Randy Savage once said on an episode of Monday Night Raw. The capacity of the building, 11,475. We haven't quite got a sellout at 9,295 in attendance. In terms of buy rate year on year for pay-per-views, 96, 175,000, 97, 250,000. So 75,000 up on this event, lads. What do we make of that to begin with?
That's pretty good, like, uptake. But then again, isn't this during the fabled podcast numbers of Eric Bischoff? Isn't this fall in that run?
Yeah,
3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So, that's probably
whoever's phone that is, if it keeps going off, I am going to have to chin somebody. Social distancing or not.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's you, Don.
It's my watch now. This is my phone. It's my fucking watch.
This episode is sponsored by Bukkake.
Get 10% off with the code Bukkake.
I mean, what would this episode be without technical difficulties? Do you know what I mean? This is our life.
Yeah, it's what it's run on. It is fueled. The flux capacitor is fueled by technical difficulties.
Yes, it is, Doc. Yes, it is. Anyway, back to the buy rate. 83 weeks. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, it was during this period. Absolutely. So, are you not surprised? Then is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but I mean to know it's like gone up by nearly, what was it?
75k. Yeah.
That's a pretty good jump. That's a
big
pretty
jump.
good jump. So,
What do you think, that? So look, we obviously reviewed the sold outs and the Super Brawl. Like, what would be? Do you think people are like sort of getting on board with the NWO and the way it's going, or what do you think the situation would be there? Why is people starting to tune in now?
I think because the show's not called Sold Out and they're getting further and further away from it. That's probably why.
Maybe.
I mean, the thing is, when we look at like the WWF's numbers, for example, they're lower than this. So WCW were legitimately kicking WWF's ass at this time. You know what I mean? Like the last one that we covered in February for WWF, which was Final Four, 120k versus 250k. That's a big difference.
You can't argue with them numbers, can you?
Not at all. Even though I would argue that main event on the In Your House outshone every match that was on this card. Bold statement. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I think the fact is, though, WWF at the time were putting out good stuff. It just hadn't found its footing yet.
Yeah.
And I think as we go through this, you will see it stop. Once it finally gets the idea of what he wants to do, you'll get there.
People
Like
needed that
WCW.
alternative after the bullshit couple of years that they had of, I'm not saying Dunk
Yeah.
the Clown, but, you know, the occupation era and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And your
I was about to
Mantas.
say, the stupid gimmicks that was around. I was just about to say this is probably where WCW are pulling away from that and they're being a bit more real.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we will get into it. We will get into a few that are on this show.
Cena just out of nowhere. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, are you sure? No, but this is what I mean. That is what you thought to think was the case, but not quite just yet. I don't think. But
There was realism in certain parts, and others just went into magical flight of fancy. But more about that later.
Of course, doesn't work for me, brother.
Indeed. Nothing works for that guy. But yeah, we get a very mental video introduction is the best way that I can describe it. They absolutely fly through all the matches, including the main event. We hear Tony tell us that it's the third version of the event, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. The pyro goes off, the crowd shots galore. We've got Tony, Shivani, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Dusty Rhodes as our commentary team, who straight away go straight in and talk about the main event. And if Piper teams wins, then he gets Hogan in a cage match down the road, which is, I'm not going to lie to you, I really, really struggled to keep track of, A, the rules of this match.
It made it really complicated.
Oh.
It was just like...
WCW for you right there. It's like,
it was like
what's symbol? Let's fuck with it.
Yeah, it was like if this happens, this happens, and this is the rules, and then but if this is the team, and that team don't even make sense. It's just like what's going on?
If this match is fought on a new leap year, then it's Bizarro rule.
Is it a case of like, we ain't got anything for these guys? Hey guys, do you fancy being in a massive fucking 3-way like tag team match in the main event? Oh yeah, sound.
Yeah,
and you're telling me all the guys that have got creative control in that match, not one of them went, doesn't work for me, brother. They all went, nah, this sounds fucking dead good, let's go.
This sounds amazing, because that triple threat triangle match on the last card was epic, right? So we can do better than that, yeah. Also, Dennis Rodman is here.
Skipping training.
He does what he wants. He just literally. You know, if
he told his coach at basketball, he was like, you know what, I ain't going to train that night because I'm down at
I'm at the wrestling.
I'm down in Kakalaki.
Yeah,
down in Kakalaki doing wrestling, doing a main event. You see, mate.
Literally, if you have got the WWE Network, check out the Untold edition for Dennis Rodman and Carl Malone. Absolutely fantastic insight to their times in World Championship Wrestling.
If it wasn't for them, Shaq wouldn't have his fucking 5-star match with Cody, would he? You know what I mean? They have paved the way.
Well, I'm saying, but then
more whiskey required.
But then again, they also paved the way for Jay Leno.
Yeah, true.
So, you know.
Yeah, I've got to sit through that shit in a couple of fucking months or something.
And Drew Carey.
Hey, fuck off. Greatest Royal Rumble performance ever,
yeah.
if you ask me. I will say this, though, just with the intro. I just moved away very quickly from that. I did write down that the intro reminded me of Ransom Note from Bellevue High from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm all right with that.
That's what I thought the intro looked like to me. It looked like Zach Morris has finally taken victims.
Yeah. Good.
But that's all I have to say about that.
In case you didn't notice, so Saved by the Bell was actually a prequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. So there were some interesting stories presented around if the NWO lose, they have to hand back the titles, can't wrestle for 36 months. And then randomly, just out of nowhere, it stops there and it's, let's go to David Pencer. So Don, over to you for the match introductions for the opener, please. It is for the WCW United States Championship and it is a no disqualification match. Who's in the match, Don? Who is in the match?
Coming up is the man of 1,000 holds. It's and his opponent is the WCW TV champion.
United States champion, buddy.
I've written it down wrong.
So you're fired.
But
I literally just told him 30 seconds ago that it was the United States Championship match. Here he is going, the television champion. What?
That's what he wants.
Oh, we're live, pal. We're live.
Can we do this again?
No, Mark won't cut this.
No,
not at all. Carry on.
It's the US
uncensored
champion. It's the US champion. It's Eddie.
In case you don't understand Don or David Pencer, it's D. Malenko, the challenger, versus Eddie Guerrero, the champion, with our referee being Randy Anderson. I was absolutely dead excited to watch this one, and I was not disappointed at all. Really, 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 really okay match. I thought it was dead good.
I like that. Really okay.
It was. Really okay. It was.
Thinking this match.
Good old technical difficulties back.
Again, Malenko came in a little bit more venom. If you ask me.
He was hot.
Also to come back. Oh.
There we go. Wait there.
There we go. You're back. Yeah, it was nice to see Malenko with a bit more fire again. Like, as he did last time. Let's
let it go. Let it go. No, sorry. Nah, I think Malenko is like he's angry in this match. You know, it's like continued. He's continued it well. He's continued the story well with a different person, which is dead good.
But also Eddie was involved, wasn't he, at the finish of
6 and
Super Brawl. That's the one. So yeah, he made sense to follow on with the 2, and obviously six gets involved here, doesn't he? So
that's the benefit of obviously watching them in order as well, because you sort of get obviously you got nitros and whatever in between, but you got a bit of you got a bit of story behind it. You got a bit of like background as to why. Obviously, you get random matches all the time, but there's always a stories in there. So
yeah, absolutely,
they're good. I loved it. You know, this felt like a WrestleMania match. Nowadays, WrestleMania match, like something between Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. For me to think of one, it was a good match. 2 great superstars. Didn't mean anything. It did mean something, obviously, the Randy Orton one, but it was more. It was a feud more than anything. No titles on line, but it had that feel of like the reaction, the wow, that's what he sort of like reminded me of like 20 years later. Do you know what I mean?
I love it when you open up.
Yeah.
Open up more.
That's what she said.
Let us inside, brother. Let us inside. 10% off.
Do you know what I mean? Like all the the crowd was on it like fucking wildfire.
Yeah, they were.
I loved it.
I like the little heelish flair that Guerrero showed him as well in this match. To me, that's always.
To be fair though, it's good because like the anti-hero was Malenko. He was doing all the heelish things.
Yeah. And
the crowd was on it. It was like it was really mad to see because like it was like the you see it nowadays and you've seen it like with Triple H and stuff. In the past 10 years or whatever. But this is just like this is crazy. This is like before Triple H really got into being that type of character. So I don't know. It's Stone Cold wasn't even at this character just yet.
No.
That was sort of like WrestleMania on, wasn't it really, with where the fans really really got behind him. As a face heel, whatever he was.
Yeah,
just like
it's one of them. It's weird though, but it is sort of like WCW, where sort of they made the whole idea of an anti-hero cool, and it's like to see a different version of it other than for life and
exactly.
Look at this. So it's cool to see disrespect.
You can't do a pin and then like the baby face to lift the heel off the mat and say, "Oh no, not yet," and the crowd to pop at you. That's just like I was like, "What's going on?"
He loved it as well, didn't he? Like Malenko's reaction, he absolutely loved it when he did that.
Yeah, of course he did.
The little face on Malenko when he did that, I was like, "What the fuck? Who are you? What have you done with the real team?"
Fantastic.
But it's a good match, though. It was a good match.
Yeah, but we'll go into a little bit more about the match. We talked about a couple of spots there. Just obviously before the opening spots in the match, Tony tells us about Randy Anderson getting reinstated. Does anyone remember that and want to talk us through it?
Yeah, so the tag match at last month's Super Brawl between Giant and Lex versus the Outsiders. The next night on Nitro, they were stripped. The belts were given back to the Outsiders. And Randy Anderson was suspended because of the count.
Even though Mark Curtis was the ref, to be out of order, really?
I know.
Was it mistaken identity?
I think so. I think they just went, fuck him, we're having him out.
Pee-wee.
Yeah, Randy Pee-wee Anderson. Yeah, the fucking hell, amazing. Well, it's good to see the head ref of WCW back. Obviously, no Nick Patrick, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think the one thing at the beginning of this match that really stood out for me was shoulder tackles getting solid reactions from the crowd. Like literally just a simple off the rope, hit the shoulder tackle from Dean Malenko on Guerrero. Guerrero taking his time to sell it, powdering and getting a reaction from the crowd. And really, I think, we're 3 pay-per-views in now in this year, going into March. And from my experience on WCW events is star power means a lot to the crowd. And that's the only time you normally get a reaction out of them is when they buy into the character. So clearly, Malenko and Guerrero are doing something right.
Yeah. Then again, though, star power alone isn't the thing. If you can wrestle, certain fans and certain places as well, you'll see this.
Yeah.
Certain places they go to, they respond more to the wrestling than
absolutely
the star power. And South Carolina's quite a well-known wrestling place in America, so I think they could appreciate it.
I think as well, they told the story. They told with the way they're sold, with the way they give the moves and the way they've done the little things like you said, the shoulder tackles. They've done everything right because there's a match later on in the card where it's more or less similar.
Mm.
Did you get the same reaction?
No.
It's I think they give a lot more in this match. It's I don't know what it is.
It felt real. It felt more real.
They didn't do much. Sense. Yeah, they didn't overdo the crowd work. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't play to the crowd. It was a mad situation where the fans just really, really appreciated it. And it's something that you probably can't teach, you can't buy. It's just there, ain't it? It's one of them that you go back behind the curtain at the end of the match and think, you know what, we've just done something like dead good there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Be proud of that page.
Yeah.
Time to have a cuddle and a whisker. So I think like you've already touched on, Malenko again, he's on fire. He's having another solid match as he did last month. The character change is definitely tweaking more and more as we go along.
Yeah.
Eddie, he's definitely turning heel for me with that crowd reaction that he's getting, if not full heel at this point. Unfortunately, the match does get a little bit broken up with storylines happening, which is a shame, really, because it's one of the best matches on the card, if not the best match on the card. Commotion in the locker room area. We get the camera taken back. It's 3 members of the NWO, so Hall, Nash, and Six. They're standing over who we can't actually tell who it is to begin with, but we do find out that it's Rick Steiner, who then later on in this same match we come back to and gets carried out on an ambulance, leaving WCW or Team WCW in a vulnerable position for later on in the main event, lads. What did you make of this happening here?
Do you think they told the lads, like, look, ref's going to tell you at certain points in the match, put it on a hold?
Yeah, because the STF went in at one point, then it...
And there was a half Boston Crab as well.
There you go.
A bit earlier on. Mm. So, I don't know, it took something away from the match for me. Because that's what you want to do. You're watching 2 world-class athletes actually having a wrestling match. The last thing I want to be doing is what's these lads doing standing around a sort of semi-unconscious bloke?
Some would say world-class wrestlers. Oh, look what I did there, lads! Look what I did.
Kevin Nash sporting the fucking white socks and the sliders from making the trend. What pissed me off in this though? This segment happened right after there was a massive I don't know if it was a comeback or it was a cut off or a full. I don't know what it was, but it was good, and the crowd was on it, and they were starting to get somewhere. And then, like you said, I think they just got like something in their ear hole to say, "Now's the time, lads. Just calm it down a bit now."
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a shame, really, because like it just seemed like the match was going, like it
broke
was
the
going
momentum.
somewhere. And it did, and that pissed me off, to be fair. Just for the NWO to get over. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is.
They had plenty of opportunity to do that elsewhere on this card.
It happened everything, didn't it? Yeah.
Like
it happened everywhere.
Plenty of time to do it.
Yeah.
You could have gone, oh, fuck, they found him. Wow, the NWO were there.
Yep.
What happened?
It didn't have to happen like that.
No.
Yeah, it's another 2-hour 43-minute event. So
it's only within the first 15 minutes of the fucking show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no need for it. Obviously, Eddie chooses to go after the knee of Malenko again. Commentators once again put it over as you take out the knee, you take out the Texas Cloverleaf from Malenko. So it seems to be a regular thing in some of his matches. This is where the gag comes with Dusty Rhodes doing a bit of a Leslie Nielsen impression there. Tony Schiavone was on it, man, but Dusty Rhodes was on something higher, shall we say, on this particular occasion.
He was on a premium substance, baby.
He was. And Brain absolutely loved it at times throughout the card, which I'm sure we'll get into.
You know what? Just talking about commentators, I really enjoyed this team on this particular pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I think it was brilliant. I think it just worked.
They didn't do it for me at Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really salty to one another. But this month they're sort of like, lads, whatever we've got shit, we'll leave it back there.
Yeah.
It just worked. Probably because Bobby the Brain in and more fucking trying to fucking bury Hulk Hogan.
Oh, no, he was. He always went. And he always
Not as much.
Not as much, yeah.
I put it to another person why it worked, but that's the person that
like tonight.
I never said nothing. We'll get to that point.
Yeah, we'll get to that, won't we? So Tony Schiavone explains that someone, I think it was Eddie, coming across as Surly, and Dusty Rhodes steps in and says, "Don't call me Shirley." I don't know what that accent was. I felt like I was in Hot Fuzz for a second. My bad.
Don't call me Shirley.
For the greater good.
An accident.
An accident. It was a fucking murder.
Are you sure?
Calm down, Sergeant Angle.
Angle. Welcome to the Hot
Fancy
Fuzz
an
podcast.
ice cream?
You're a doctor. Deal with it.
Oh yeah, I love Hot Fuzz. Fantastic. Moving on.
Want us to review the Cornetto trilogy?
Oh yeah.
Some money.
Detective Angle. Detective Angle.
Oh, you love a good murder, don't you?
Murder. What a fucking sock in it.
Europe.
Nerd.
I think we're going to need to take a break.
Rob's gone fully fucking dusty. Rob's gone full dusty.
Oh shit. Anyway.
Hey, big un, playtime's over.
Well.
We are back. We are live. We are uncensored, just like the event. Oh, wait, hold on. Hello.
He's coming to tickle me for some reason.
Why not? Why not?
I love you.
Can you do me a favour, Mark?
Okay, go on.
Mart, can you ask her?
Let Frankie come here.
Does Frankie feel that Shawn Michaels lost his smile?
I'm going to ask you a question. You need to give me a good answer. Yeah, what you think. So
you got it, Frankie. You got it.
We believe in you.
Did Shawn Michaels really lose his smile? Or was it just an excuse because he didn't want to drop the belt to Bret Hart at WrestleMania? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think he was really... What do you think? Do you think he lost his smile? Or do you think it was just because he didn't want to drop the belt?
But he didn't want to drop his belt.
Yeah, is it because he's salty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because he didn't want to drop the belt.
Yeah, I'd agree. Good answer, Frankie. Thank you.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Do you think he was really injured? Yeah. Oh, okay. Bit conflicting there.
Yeah.
Not.
And that's
Wait.
boom.
Literally lost the shit clock is
I'm gonna say Rey Mysterio entering. Then that sounds like he's in. Ray.
And that's our latest kids do wrestling segment. So back to the match, and don't call me Shirley. There's a few outside spots. Malenko all of a sudden forgets to sell his leg halfway through. He takes over with the help of the barricade. It's back and forth. I absolutely love it. I ain't gonna lie. Malenko hits a great frog splash. Obviously, Eddie Guerrero's finish, and he pulls him up at 2. But Bobby the Brain Heenan was absolutely fuming at that one, eh?
Yeah. You got to think in his mindset, he's the heel commentator.
Yeah.
If you've beaten someone, take the victory. Doesn't matter how you do it, take the victory.
Yeah.
So I get that, but the story of the match wasn't that Malenko just wanted to beat him as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So it made sense. But I did love his little face once he pulled him up. That is a face that I will get printed on a T-shirt eventually.
Oh wow! Well, we know some people that can do that, right, Mark?
Was it better than his face when he revealed himself as that that luchador underneath?
Oh,
that?
We'll get to that when that comes up. We'll get to that when that comes up. In my opinion, it rivals it. Mm-hmm. It rivals.
I obviously haven't seen this, have I? Or have I?
No, you haven't.
You would have seen it somewhere, surely.
Was it?
Through the power of YouTube.
Don't call me Shirley.
That's how you tell the Dusty.
Yeah. God rest his soul. So obviously some beautiful spots in the match. But Eddie pops Malenko in the Texas Cloverleaf, and then Six turns up to steal the title. He's already obviously the Cruiserweight champion at this point. Yeah. Tries to steal the United States title. Doesn't go well for him as Eddie gets to him. But he's got his video camera, which, I've got to question at this point. Or no, I'll save it till later because there's a little segment where we'll mention that in a bit. So hold that for now. But Six brings his video camera. That ends up in the ring because there's a scuffle on the apron. The referee's all over the gaff. It's no DQ, so it doesn't exactly matter. But Malenko smashes Eddie's head with the video camera to get the win and become the new United States champion. They go for a total of 19 minutes and 14 seconds, which is the longest match on the card for good reason. 2 people that could definitely handle it. I think it's the longest match on the card. I'm pretty confident.
I think the main just slightly beats it. I think the main just beats it in time. 1922 I've got as the main. Same.
So yeah, just a little bit over. Fuck them. They have shenanigans. These were 2 wrestlers kicking the shit out of each other. I loved it. So I'll give it 3 stars, lads. Where's your head at?
Mark, do you want to go first?
I went with 4.
Oh, look at him. He's so nice in the opener for you, isn't he, Mark?
I know, yeah.
I get myself over later in the car, just like Hogan.
So 4 stars, Mark. That's pretty strong out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
That is strong. Any reason for 4 stars? Any reason it wasn't?
Deserves it, clearly.
Well, you're supposed to say surely, not clearly.
Yeah, but I don't want you to say the lie.
No, I think, like I said earlier, I think it's because it was a WrestleMania feel to me. Yeah. I was engaged. I didn't sort of feel bored where I sort of had to I had to watch it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to just put yourself through the motions because it's a good match and you will watch it. I was actually engaged. I wasn't distracted by anything. It was brilliant for me. There was a spot somewhere, I think, where Malenko was up against the railings on the outside, and Eddie got on the top rope, on the top of the turnbuckle, and he jumped, and he was flying through the air for ages.
Yeah.
And he landed flush. I don't know whether he legit hurt himself, but he landed flush on the railings.
I'd fucking say that was the big cut off, wasn't it?
Yeah. That for me, that made me think, well, okay, you know what I mean? And it's a fucking brilliant match, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
he would have got more. He would have got 4.5 if he won for the shitty ending for me.
That's why I marked it down personally, because I had 3. I've got 3. Would have been higher, but the ending ruined it. Although it was a nice callback to last month.
But I don't know what Six was doing with that camera though, because he fucking he didn't even drop it. He swung for him with the camera. Like if you'd have fucking connected with his head, he would have fucking hurt him.
100%.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know what the fucking hell's going on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us do, and it's absolutely fine.
Yeah. As long as I ain't in that boat on my own, I'm all right.
Yeah.
So Dave, Big Dave rated it 3.75.
Okay.
Did you want to give anything more on it before we move on?
I would have liked to have seen this match go to an actual finish that wasn't bullshit.
Yeah, of course.
And this match did not need the no DQ.
Yeah, Malenko deserved to win the title without that finish.
Yeah. Other than the end, and I think there's one belt shot through the entire. It didn't need the no DQ clause.
Yeah, I think Malenko was hitting him with the belt at some point, and the crowd was fucking digging.
Yeah, literally. Sorry, he hit him with the belt in the gut and over the back. I'm not being funny. If you're going to get the title belt, aim for the head and get the win.
I think he was just holding back a bit because he was the baby face and he didn't want to. That's a finish, ain't it? The belt to the head. Literally, that's like even done, ain't you then?
I just think he knew that he was 5 minutes in and he had 19 minutes to film.
Also, with what happens later in the card, there is matches where there's a little bit more plunder. So he didn't want to overdo the plunder. So
there is.
Honestly, if they wanted to have a stipulation for this should have been literally, I don't know, something stupid like submissions only. Or some sort of thing that plays to their specific talents. I would have loved to have seen that, but we got what we got, and it was a good match all the same, though. So
absolutely. Yeah. And then we are greeted by Mean Gene Okerlund, plugging the hotline, of course. He's this time talking about the WCW superstar who has left. He's got some right scoops, I tell you, this bloke, and he's absolutely in with it. Then he brings in Roddy Piper. Wow. He just absolutely cracks on with his promo. He says all sorts of stuff like, Mean Gene, you're ribbing me. He's just hilarious, to be honest. I really, really enjoyed him. Like, at one point, he goes, the Queen Mary, speaking of Rodman, obviously putting the two together, but he did it so subtle that it was hilarious. And then he obviously starts talking about the 4 Horsemen. Obviously, there's no Arn Anderson and there's no Ric Flair for whatever reason. I'm assuming because of an injury.
I think they said later in the night that they weren't there, but they'll be there the next night on Night.
Yeah,
so,
weird that is. couldn't turn up to this show, but turned up the next night.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't work for them either, brother. So, Double J, he finally gets his promo back on some sort of track before
While Roddy Piper's standing right in front of his camera shot.
Like literally,
you heard Jeff Jarrett talking, and then like Roddy Piper going like fucking crazy in front of him.
Absolutely. Like at one point, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Benoit speaking. And Piper starts spitting out of his nose, and he's just raring to go. Like, just calm down. You haven't spent 7 days in Alcatraz this time round. Just calm down.
He's in the main event, and it's only 20 minutes into the show.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You've got another 2 hours to wait before you're going out, buddy. You need to chill out. Mongo, why the fuck is he talking? Benoit obviously gives a couple of solid lines before Piper kicks off again at Gene. Before flipping the bird and delivering the line. So you know which line I'm talking about. You know, just when you think you've got all the answers, I change the question.
Don't call me Shirley. Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley. That one. And then Gene's like, oh, Deborah, we were going to talk to you, but back to you,
crazy
Tony.
Motherfucker. This crazy motherfucker just basically took up all your TV time right now. So,
and then, God bless him for doing that.
And then Tony.
What was that comment? What was that comment?
Wait there. Yeah, here it comes. Tony Schiavone says, well, Gene, we don't have to necessarily talk to her sometimes. All we need to do is look at her.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, big
What a
dick,
guy.
Tony. Wow.
What a guy. What a pig.
He's a big old strong.
Literally.
He's doing the fucking Leslie Chow in the top of the Caesar's Palace with all the fucking hookers. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Anyway, speaking of Leslie Charles, Sonny Ono turns up next. So we are on to match 2. It's Psychosis versus Ultimate Dragon at this point, not the Ultimo Dragon, which I found a little... I weren't too happy about it, but all right then, copyrights. Yeah, go on, explain that. Is that because of New Japan or what?
Got to be
that one. Yeah, right.
No, I actually think it's because they're ignorant. It is because they're ignorant.
Really?
Is that in their name? Like,
honestly, this is the because
it surely changed at some point, didn't it? Surely.
No, surely it never changed. They were just ignorant of his name because my boy Mike Tenay fucking puts them all on check and says his name's Ultimo. Fucking goes in there. Fuck off with your
I didn't even hear this, you know. I didn't even hear this.
I must have missed this.
Yeah, seriously, he actually went in.
That's how much Mike Tenay bought me. I didn't hear it. I'm joking.
Get out my shop.
Yeah. So Sonny Ono, on his way to the ring here, he's taking photos on his brand new digital camera. Now, I find this hilarious, but I also looked in because he was taking it in a selfie mode, really, wasn't he? Like the one picture. I'm thinking, fuck me, Tyler Bree's got his gimmick here.
It's not far off.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a little less cultural.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
You know, a comment I loved as well. I don't know if it was off. And they said, was it Mike Tenay? I think it probably Mike Tenay or I don't know who it was. He won Tony Schiavone. I don't know who it was anyway. But there was like, looking back in hindsight now, it's a brilliant line. He was like, "Oh, maybe I think we can see that over the internet now."
That was funny. That was
funny. And I'm like, how far have we come to the point where I'm like, we can see that over the internet, like it's a big fucking deal.
It was amazing for this entire show. Every time they went to the internet, it's like, we have found the golden fleece. It's called WCWWrestling.com. It's fucking Jen.
Jen, don't break the internet, Jen.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Brain said to him after that line about finding the photos on the internet?
No.
If you go backstage, he'll show you some other ones.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's got his OnlyFans on there, ready to go.
That's what I mean. These commentators was like, I was loving it. Like
they were loving this night. They were loving it.
And commentators are, because that's what the audience at home here. That's your boy rate customers are the ones that are of the television now. So they involved with the commentators as well. Live
absolutely.
People.
Yeah.
They're selling the story. They're selling the event. They're selling that pay-per-view.
If you're with a commentator and you're like laughing and you're like listening, engaged, so you want to, you're halfway there, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay attention, progress. Pay attention. So here comes your man, Mike Tenay, as I said there, Don. He gets his very own title card. The voice of Mike Tenay, the first title card of the event. It wasn't the last, but this was the first. They didn't put one up for the United States Championship, strangely. It was dead weird. But Mike Tenay gets a title card. It's almost like someone remembered to press the button.
It was Mike Tenay.
Literally,
he's the one who did it.
Yeah, I'm going to give myself the title card. Yeah.
Fucking.
The match is fairly straightforward. It's probably what you expect from the two. It's very tight and compact to start with a lot of holds and a lot of arm drags. Then we get some combination of kicks from the two. It is decent. It goes back and forth a little bit until Sonny Ono gets involved on the outside. Then it really slows down from there. And I suppose it needed to a little bit as they had 13 minutes and 17 seconds. But, maybe they didn't need this long, maybe.
I think you could have cut this match down by a couple of minutes and just cut it out a bit. First of all, Sonny Ono's head kick on the outside.
Amazing.
It's fucking stunning.
I've liked Sonny Ono. He's always been an interesting character to me.
Yeah.
But I think watching this, like, I love him even more. He's like, you know what? He's such a good, like, he's such a funny, like, quick-witted character as well. Like when the camera comes close to him.
Yeah.
And he's like
he's always got something to say. Always got something.
And it's having to get the referee, like he's talking to the referee, and he's like, he's just really good.
Yeah, like I'm massively impressed by that. Like
mate, he's a good.
I think the match is
good martial arts as well. Ain't
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say there was something
good.
I'm gonna say Eric Bischoff would have been happy with this man. Eric Bischoff would have loved this man. But now, I really enjoyed the match.
Yeah,
like, I'm just gonna say that. Commentary made a bit of a fuck up near the end, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, I mean the replays were interesting because Brain and Dusty just do take the piss when calling the replays, to the point that when we get the two cruiserweights later on in the card, Brain just basically says, "Call it tonight," because I'm not getting involved. He's got no interest in doing it. But let's talk about the finish. So that fucking tornado DDT gimmick was rough as fuck. Followed by the Tiger Suplex for the win for the Ultimo Dragon is what I'm going to call him. What did you make of that finish?
I mean, a bit earlier on in the match when Ultimo hit the Yushin Thunder Luger bomb.
Yeah, concussion seated, that is.
Yeah. And then he finished him off with a Puerto Rican backflip, according to Brain.
Yeah.
I wrote this fucking down. I was like, no way you just fucking said that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Mike Tenay was like, you could hear him in the background just sharpening knives to skin it.
Literally.
You could hear it. Just like you could hear the blades being sharpened.
Yeah.
I don't know with the lads. I don't know with these two because big fans of both wrestlers at this time.
Did you train with him when he come over?
I did.
I'm sure you were there.
I did a seminar with Ultimo. Yeah.
Yeah, we were both there then.
Yeah,
I was wondering.
That was crazy. That was good though. I enjoyed it. I didn't feel like we got too much out of it though.
No, not really. There was a big group on that Tuesday night, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Pre the show. He also did another one and it was more limited and you got a little bit more time with him, to be fair. But still, I mean, it was still all general basic stuff and mainly Mexican style rather than like anything else.
Well, that is his preferred style, though.
Of course.
The style he's most well known for, actually.
Yeah, but
Lucha Libre.
I don't want to give right arm on drags all night long, do I? Do you know what I mean? Roddy Barrett would have fucking slapped me if I said to him, "So I've just learned this off my dragon. Do you mind doing it?" He's calling the spots to me, not the other way around. Yeah. We were in the opener that night, and it was a privilege working a show with the Ultimo Dragon, to be fair. All the way back in 2013 now, believe it or not, lads. Fuck me.
Jesus.
It feels like forever.
A lifetime ago, that is.
Yeah.
Literally.
You could run outside and have a bukkake and no one have a problem.
and of course, these days you have to now beg for it and get 10% off with the code bukkake. So yeah, look, the match was done and over in 13 minutes and 17 seconds. I've given it 1.5 stars.
I went 2 stars. I think partly because of the...
Not letting you go anymore, is it? Sticking to form. For the greater good.
I actually put 1 3/4.
Of course you did.
What was I fucking up your spreadsheet?
Sorry,
again, Rob?
It's purely because it was a 1.5 star match, but I'll give Sonny Ono the extra 1/4 star.
Okay, I like that. Dave Meltzer gave it 3.5 stars.
Wow.
And what did he give the first match?
3.7.
3.75. Fair.
It's an opinion. Yeah,
it's also, not the right one.
Psychosis gear. Oh my god! Like his gear throughout the years have been amazing. Like I'm all over that. Like that, and like just recently at Pentagon Junior.
Okay.
That sort of
gear.
Yeah.
You're like a onesie sort of gimmick.
Yeah, with like it's got like the like it looks like a vest that's built in, but it's just like the pleather and the amazing.
What did you think of Ultimo Dragon's entrance gear, as it was literally just a cape?
I'm not into capes.
No
Capes don't
capes.
do it for me.
Got a ring jacket.
Not all heroes wear capes, I get that, but like capes just don't do it for me.
Yeah. Fair. I thought I'd ask the question. Though,
Yeah. I appreciate the little the question.
Fuck the capes is basically what Marty's saying. And next up, we get the hotline man back. So Mean Genie's back.
And pocket money.
He's talking about the hotline, of course. And then here comes DDP. There's no cigar. There's no ring jacket. He's looking a lot better for me here.
Sounding a lot better as well.
Yeah.
Loads better.
He brings some energy here for me in this promo, and he he's on it. He's calling out the Macho Man Randy Savage.
He owns this promo for me. Like the way he conducts himself, you know what I mean. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's going to say. He knows what message he wants to say.
Compared to last month, it's a different person.
Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't have a clue, did he? Last month, didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
He had 15 seconds to decide who he was going to fight last month, though. So.
Gene Oakland decided in the end, you'll face Bagwell. That'll do.
Yeah.
But
Give the old boys a night off. Wall Street. Yeah. No. Vincent.
They're in a bukkake together.
So yeah, Savage comes out. Liz is with him. They turn up at the commentators area. And the basics of this program is DDP saying that Savage now is basically blocking him. He's blocked him all on social media in this day and age. That's what would happen, right? And he's not talking to him and he's avoiding him. And Savage does a complete U-turn on that. He unblocks him and he tells him he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Can I just say, before you go into anything more, this promo is probably one of the best promos. I forgot about this promo, to be honest.
Okay.
I forgot all about it. Even if I probably watched it once, twice, maybe, if that. But like since watching it, oh my god, this promo, before you mention anything more, is probably the best promo I've probably ever seen.
Wow.
Definitely
strong.
Like this segment part.
This segment is really, really strong.
It's probably
really strong.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
This segment gets 5 stars
as well, especially 97 as well.
The story, the emotion, the dialogue,
the
way it's put together, brilliant.
Except this,
absolutely brilliant.
She tries to have a go at the end. It's funny.
Good luck, love.
Yeah, so Savage does a U-turn. He says he respects DDP and he's calling DDP the man. But it's a backhanded compliment, and we find out the reason why. So Lisa's got an edition of Playboy magazine. It turns out.
Sorry, it's called Nude Celebrity.
Oh, sorry, was it? Sorry.
I put a sticker over it for copyright reasons.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, I've never heard of Nude Celebrity before.
Google.
I wasn't the only one.
I literally thought they said Playboy, to be honest.
They did later on. They just fucked it off later on.
Yeah,
in the promo, it was called Nude Celebrity.
Oh, fair dues. So, obviously, Kimberly was a centerfold, Kimberly being the wife of Diamond Dallas Page. They show said picture, but it has been spray painted by NWO to cover her bits up, shall we say. Then Kimberly comes out crying in a green dress that has also been spray painted with NWO, so she's clearly been attacked to some sort by Liz and Savage before DDP has a chance really to work out what's going on. In the words of Gene Oakland or Tony Schiavone, I can't really remember which one it was. He's just Pearl Harbor DDP. I thought that was class.
Mate, something else that was said in this.
Brilliant. Clocked him good.
Yes, spray paint can.
Yeah, when Oakland is saying like, what? Everyone stand around and just watch this happen.
Somebody what are you doing, G?
You're doing exactly.
What are you doing? You're there talking shit on the microphone to the point where Liz goes, fuck you, G. Basically. She cut to one-liner, and then obviously Savage is just amazing. Now, Mark, is this the point that we do it, or do we do it later? I say we do it later because there ain't much to talk about in that main event, mate.
Yeah, keep us hot, keep us waiting.
Keep us waiting for it.
Yeah,
and I can't wait.
Yeah, this is a really good segment. It's you can't just like shoot all your loads. You gotta keep some back, can you?
Absolutely.
It's like a good bukkake. You gotta wait to go last.
Exactly.
And
that's my play. That's my game. That is.
You'll find these two at the back of Manhattan's on a Friday night enjoying themselves up against the dumpster.
We've been looking to go out. We're still in lockdown, man.
Yeah, fuck it. So, yeah, great segment, great promo. We then moved on to a title card. And this title card says martial arts match. I was a little bit intrigued by this. It turns out that it wasn't really a martial arts match, and it was just a normal match. And so Mickey J's the ref. We've got Mortis with James Vanderberg versus Glacier. Yeah. So Mortis, for those who don't know, has not yet evolved into his full form of Chris Kanyon.
And he's in my top 5.
He is in Mark's top 5. He did sadly pass away.
Or Canyon.
Yeah.
Champagne Canyon or Champagne?
Not quite Jersey Triad Canyon.
Yeah.
Just before maybe.
Oh, okay. Just clarification.
Yeah. Can't wait to see all of this unfold. Obviously, poor Chris Kanyon did sadly pass away at the age of 40 on April 2nd, 2010. Yeah. So as always, we'll pour one out for that guy. James Vanderberg, I'm going to hand over to you, Per. Do you have anything at all that you'd like to say about him?
WCW was not the place for his character, but ECW definitely was.
Yep.
As he would become James Mitchell, aka the Sinister Minister.
Yep. TNA.
TNA as well, yeah. Brilliant character. Really underrated on the mic as well.
I thought he was great in TNA. Bits that I saw of him.
Man. He's a dead good
But it didn't use him right, did they? They probably put him with the wrong person as well. Like,
I'm not sure that was even the thing, because this character, which we will talk about, unfortunately, because he couldn't do what Sting was doing and he couldn't do what the Undertaker was doing, he was hindered. He couldn't play this character to its full potential for me.
Where when you see him in ECW, you saw what this like.
I want about Mortis, sorry. I want about Mortis as well. Yeah, the pair of them.
Yeah, sorry.
But obviously we'll talk about the end of the match, but when you've got the two of them at the end, that looked like a dominant tag team.
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't really work out like that, I guess.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, of course we will.
And Glacier got put over fucking. He was the best thing since sliced bread when he first came in. Oh my! It was undefeated for ages.
Yeah. I was telling Rob just before the thing. So when he finally turned up, because I think he was built for about 6 months.
Yeah, Glacier's come in and loads of
blood runs cold and all
packages.
This.
Yeah.
His entrances would, on average, cost about $50,000 per nitro.
What with all the fake snow and ice and stuff.
Yeah, and all the or Thunder or pro wrestling, WCW Pro Wrestling or Saturday Night. If he showed up one of these B shows, they'd have to pay $50,000 for his entrance.
Fuck, it's mad. That is
unbelievable.
And at the same time, when you're booking realistic gimmicks like NWO, and then you've got that Mortal Kombat thing. We'll have one of them characters. Which one do we choose? Do we choose the Undead Ninja? Nah. What about the soul sucking bloke? Nah. What about the Wuxi trained academy lad who's just a person? No, let's pick the fucking Cryomancer.
Do you think WCW had a big warehouse where they go around and there was just wrestlers hanging on racks in the aisles? And just
in the power plant?
Yeah, you got Bischoff and Bischoff there with Ted Turner behind him writing checks. And Bischoff's I'll have one of those.
Oh, 2 for 1 deal.
Yeah. Create a superstar.
Yeah.
So I've got I've got a little tidbit about Glacier, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm dead excited to tell you about this because I found this earlier and I've been waiting to share it all day. I don't know how you're going to perceive it, but there will be some share. There will be a sharing of my screen involved, put it that way.
Okay, wow.
So, just to clear this up, right, because the match is pretty fucking wank, right? So let's talk about this instead. So Glacier debuted in 1987. He still wrestles today. But believe it or not, he's in a film. He's in a film that comes out in 2021 called...
What?
Yes. It's called The Replaceables. He is the leading man called Jock Holiday. And I just need to show you this, but first I'm going to read you the plot of the film.
Oh, okay.
What do veteran pro wrestlers do when they find themselves out of the limelight of giant sold-out arenas and worldwide pay-per-views? Former headliner Jock Holiday. I can't carry on.
Is that his work name, or is that his real name? Or?
That's character name.
No, yeah, this is his character name in the film.
I'm a bit confused. It's like Inception, man. Again, it's
Wait, is this a British work or a shit?
So, former headliner Jock Holiday and his closest wrestling comrades keep their passion alive by appearing at various independent wrestling shows throughout the country, entertaining fans of all ages. Although they may not be the big-time heroes they once were, replaced on TV by the current crop of young superstars, they still have an undying love for professional wrestling and continue to draw lively crowds wherever they go. During the course of their journey, Jock and his colourful group of fellow grapplers find themselves making a pit stop in a small North Florida town. Unbeknownst to Jock and company, aliens have possessed some of the townspeople.
Oh, it was going so fucking well.
I want to watch this already. I was already in like fucking Jock Holland. It's the fucking main event.
Hey,
That's
fuck off, man. His name ain't Holland. It's Holiday. Fuck you, man.
Fucking what's getting up here about his potential
Shirley. So,
I want to watch this film already. I didn't even need the aliens. You had me at they went to Florida. I was like, fuck yes. I'm promoting this now.
So the extraterrestrials have flown away in their spacecraft and operate the town's takeover by telepathic remote control. Trouble is, the possessed townspeople now have superhuman strength, not to mention glowing reptilian eyes. It's up to Jock and the boys to band together, reach down deep, and stop the invasion using their physical prowess and combative skills, sprinkled with plenty of quick wit. They have one last chance to be heroes the world once knew. Can they find victory one more time? And here we go, guys. Here is the moment where I share this with you. And let's see who else is in this movie.
Okay. So we're getting a live reaction now of what the trailer is, I'm assuming. Just for the listeners.
There's no trailer. Even though there's this little play button here, there is no trailer.
It's the Cat Miller.
Here we go.
Yeah. That's Curtis the Cat Miller.
Who is this guy though?
I can't see the full picture.
Let me big screen this. Is that any better for you?
2 seconds. Right, that right there. That's the one person that will kill everyone.
Yeah.
Literally.
Alien or not, he will fucking kill everyone.
So
he will fuck
Larry Sabisco as well. With his walking stick.
Good spot.
Is that Robert Webb from Mitchell and Webb on the end?
No.
Good.
No. But
I thought it was.
Here are some of the casts. So obviously Meng, as we've mentioned. Ray Lloyd is, of course, Glacier. Ernest the Cat Miller. Larry Zabisco. Stan Hansen makes an appearance.
Oh, wow.
Diamond Dallas Page. But wait, there's more, because Gangrel's in it.
Fuck off.
And this guy.
Everywhere.
I love it. If you ain't filming porn,
Kinda
just
gas.
doing shit with aliens.
And then, just actors from that point. But wow, I just needed to share this with you.
We need to do this film. We need to fucking do this film.
That is brilliant.
So, do we really need to talk about the match after that?
It happened. Let's continue talking about this film.
Oh, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe I stumbled across that.
That's fucking stunning. That is stunning.
Wow.
When's it out?
Is it
2021 this year? It doesn't say when.
A release date? No.
No.
Okay.
I'm calling this now. That'll be on Amazon Prime for free.
Yeah, that's a straight to video. Yeah, straight to video. Yeah, straight to stream. Yeah.
Soon it is. We're doing a review of it.
Nice.
Someone
book that shit.
What a year! What a year! Coming to America and fucking this in the same year.
Amazon Prime are really spoiling us.
Yeah, they are.
You sexual bastard.
So
the match though, like the match, to be fair, like Canyon is one of the reason why he's in my top 5. He's not in like the top 4, so he's my number 5 basically. But
and who else was in there? Let's try and remember. It was Eddie. Jericho and Canyon. We only had 3 last time round. So who is the missing 2, Mark? Let's finish this off right now.
Is it Road Dogg Jesse James and Badass Billy Gunn?
Yeah, best tag team ever. Now you got generic Triple H and Edge.
Okay.
Top 5.
You
but the reason,
me?
Yeah. You know. Like Canyon, the reason for me is because like he's probably to me one of the most underrated wrestlers ever. His sell jobs and the amount he gives in a match is fucking unreal. Probably not in this match, but some of his like when he turns into Canyon and he's with Raven and he's got that sort of like, you know, this is further down the line. He goes into like, you know, feuds with different people as unmasked. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
couldn't the same be said about Barry Horowitz?
Not really.
True.
Fuck yes. Love me a bit of Horowitz there.
Did you pat yourself on the back then?
Yeah.
I completely missed that. I like half caught it. That's class.
I was doing a Horowitz.
Horowitz beat Skip on Monday Night Raw and SummerSlam 1995. I've been watching SummerSlam 95 over the last few days just before going to sleep because I wanted to see how awful the King Mabel Diesel match was again. I don't know why I'd put myself through it, but you know, I asked Lacey to randomly pick a year and then randomly pick a month. Ended up being August 95. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even when we're not talking or watching a show with Mabel, he somehow pops up in the reviews.
What a wanker. So there was a suplex on the floor from Glacier. That was quite nice. There was a chase around the ring for some strange reason. Mortis or Canyon, I'm going to call him Canyon, carried him up the stairs and dropped him face first on the apron. I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah.
And Canyon was impressive in general for me during this whole match. I just, like I've said, I've got this point out already, but I just think he was hurt by the character because he couldn't portray it properly.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking, and as a big man under a mask, I don't want to hear you.
He's got black eyes and he's all black under the mask, ain't he? So
I don't want to hear you.
You've got a manager that's going to do
exactly. He's going to talk for you.
The promo.
I don't want to hear you.
His sell job's absolutely fucking fantastic. Like, you know,
I agree.
You got like the bump, the quick bumps in succession, usually on a comeback or whatever. But just the way he just sells every single. It's not just like a bump, get up.
Yeah,
every single one meant something. Do you know what I mean? He'd sell it, but he'd get up in dead quick. His athleticism is fucking, one of the best bar none.
Also,
for me, brilliant.
So underrated with his moveset as well.
Yeah,
because
I'd agree.
Like, I'll go with something new.
You only have to Google Canyon's top moves and like watch the videos. Fucking brilliant, man.
Is there more top moves for Canyon than there is top 10 matches of the New Age Outlaws being tag team champions?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I sort of judged that one a bit wrong, Dan, really, but
you've stuck with it now. We've got
8. Top 10. You Google top 10 New Age Outlaws matches.
Yeah.
And there's only 8 of them, isn't there?
No, to be fair, there was only 6.
6. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The finish is a bit shit. It's a bit messy. But Glacier remains undefeated. He wins with a super kick. Is the best way I can put it.
Bionic kick.
There you go. 9 minutes, 4 seconds in. I have give it 1.5 for some reason.
Same.
But yeah, I've give it that. Maybe I was a bit high on the film. 1.5 for you as well, Don.
I went 1.5, but now I've heard about that film 7. No, 1.5. I think Glacier actually had some pretty good like combos in his kicks. Like,
he weren't that bad.
Yeah, obviously he's in there with someone like Canyon who's going to do the best to sell it.
Yeah.
I actually didn't hate the match. The finish was a bit bollocks, but it wasn't a bad match. No, I was expecting a lot worse when I heard these two, and it actually was okay.
He'd had Atom Bomb. Like Atom Bomb made an appearance.
Yeah, so post-match...
Chronic in there.
That's right.
All about that.
So post-match, an attack on Glacier, and we are joined by Brian Adams. He's the best way I can describe the man. Atom Bomb for some other people, obviously. He was in some right strange gear for me.
Everything I do.
He'll do it for Vanderberg.
Yeah.
Oh, Shirley. For me, like I've said, they look like a really good team that could have been.
Is his name even Brian Adams? Hang on.
No, at this point, his name's Raph.
It is Raph, but his name is Brian Adams.
His real name is Brian Adams.
Yeah. Brian Adams, the other fucker, right?
Nah, Crush. No, not Crush.
No, you're
Crush's real name is
Brian
Adams.
Clark. Brian Adams and Brian Clark.
That's Clark.
Yeah.
He was Brian Adams in WCW when he's NWO.
Yeah.
Crush.
Right, we're going to have to look into this.
He fucking was, man.
Anyway, so Raph is out there at the end. And what's your star rating, Mark?
I'll put 1.5.
Oh, fucking hell.
Okay, we've done it again.
A bloody Betsy. A bloody Betsy. We've only got a match across the board there, lads.
You know, like as well
when
Raph come in, like Bob the Brain in and was like, "Oh, I've never seen him before." Like,
yeah. I don't recognise that man.
Yeah, probably trying to play it off cool.
You piece of shit, Bobby. And we then get the video package showing the car crash of the Steiner brothers. Hopefully, they got switched out for stunt people because that crash was fucking epic. To be fair. Obviously, this is on Six's camcorder, and this is where I need to ask the question. So do you think this is where his amateur, sort of film background come in to where, he spent a couple of nights in China?
Absolutely. He went on from filming car crashes as if he's working for NBC. He then went to WWF where the GTV angle was a thing. And I call it a bit of a...
Tell you what, this is a good shout. This is...
So I saw this and went, this looks familiar, just needs a logo in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bit later on in career, he's ankle deep inside of a country. I mean, moral of the story is he's into watching himself. And I don't hate that. Also,
you can find him on the hub.
Also, this is technically evidence. They should have been charged.
And the commentators did cover that up a little bit, didn't they?
That ain't the point, though. Even if you don't press charges, if someone gets injured, and
run off the road,
charges, you're
literally
still
attempted murder.
Yeah, attempted vehicular homicide.
I think they should have been in front of Judge Judy personally.
I couldn't agree more.
Surely you agree, Mark.
Yeah.
Is it time for a Macho Man segment yet? So here comes... Oh, go on.
Sorry, I did just look up Brian Adams, Brian Clark on Wikipedia. So it's Brian Clark. That was Raph, not Brian Adams.
Oh no.
So what does that mean then, Don?
It means I was wrong.
It means Rob was indeed wrong.
So what does that mean on the other side?
Just means I was wrong.
That's it.
That's it.
It means that Rob. It means that
That's you do the rest of this event by yourself.
We've shamed him into quitting. Oh, well done, Mark. You've remembered. Oh, wait. It's all right, people. He's just drinking his Jack Daniels with about 3/4 of a lemon.
I've got more lemon.
Let's hope that fucking redneck don't pop out.
I've got to interview people tomorrow.
Have you really? Good luck.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
What, for you or for them?
For them, 100% for them.
First question, just sit cross-legged in the chair. What the fuck do you want, cunt?
I hope someone turns up in a tuxedo and tries to step brother me.
Asking you about bunk beds.
Did you fart? I can taste it.
Trying to get to the Catalina fucking
Ketchup.
wine mixer.
It's the Catalina fucking wine mixer. Gotta love that film. Watched it recently. Cheered me right up.
Did it make you think about Cabin 58?
Mate, never mind Cabin 58. When we went to Manchester for Don Broco,
yes.
we stuck the beds on top of each other to have more room for activities in the Premier League.
Yeah,
there is a picture of that somewhere.
I think it's on Snapchat. I'll have to say
there's a picture. There is a picture.
And the people we went with came round because they came round just before we went out. And I said, "What you done that for?" There's more room for activities, and that was all we said.
That was it. We proper kayfabed them. Proper kayfabed them. I don't think they even got it either.
I could care less. We had more room for activities.
Mark, you sit next to one of them at work at the minute, mate. So maybe have that conversation.
Ask them about what did they do with the two beds.
So here comes the NWO job.
Let me write that down. Question number 1.
So his own interviews.
Here comes the NWO job of music as Buff Bagwell makes his way to the ring.
I'm not hear it now. I can't think if we get a title card or not, but it's a strap match anyway.
A strap-on match. Fucking get it on.
A strap-on match between the two strippers. Randy Anderson's the referee. Scotty Riggs is the opponent. So on the way to the ring, Buff tells us, right, and I really found this strange. How bizarre is how I found this. He tells us he doesn't care if he loses tonight. That's an interesting choice of words.
I'm going to give it all I've got. Really? Nah, I could give a shit, mate.
Tony
That's everything you can say. It's like, come on. You're right.
There's a
wrong choice of words.
There's a way for his character to have said that without saying it like that, and it would have made sense. It's like,
and Marcus wants to sit around doing fucking shoot interviews now on YouTube, saying people have fucking buried him. He's fucking burying himself here, the daft cunt.
He does a lot of that during this one, which we'll get to. Yeah. Tony starts to explain the rules for the main event during the entrance of Buff Bagwell. I've got no fucking clue what he's on about, and at this point, I'm starting to lose the will to care. We can explain it in a little bit. It's fine. So Scotty Riggs, the last time we seen him was at Sold Out, where he had no entrance music because of the gimmick. This time round, he has his tag team entrance music with Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
What were they called? The American Males. And it's literally, that's it. That's how it goes. It's on repeat. It's like a broken record. American males. And Scotty Riggs is running to the ring. Why on earth have they not got this bloke new music yet? And why is he wearing shit gear?
I didn't hate his gear because I thought if you're going into a strap match, have extra straps.
Have straps.
So, confuse your
opponent. That is logic, 101. Fucking well on that.
I take back my previous statement.
Yeah. You would think, though, it's like, look, if it had happened the night before, you split up the night before, fair enough. You'd be like, all right, keep the music. 2 months down the line, you seem like an ex who's still obsessed with your partner.
And clearly he was.
You know, I mean, you had to buy straps. I weren't about that.
I mean, this strap is definitely a different vibe to the strap that we saw in the last pay-per-view with Jacqueline and Woman.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I still can't get over that. Thankfully, Kevin Sutherland, as I call him, is not on this show at all, which is great. The one thing missing from this show was definitely Chris Jericho, as well as the likes of Ric Flair and Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they had some sense to put the Macho Man Randy Savage in a match this time round. Yeah, the rules is the 4 corner. So it's no pinfall, no submission. You have to touch all 4 corners to win the match. And I liked it. I liked the placement as well because it gave some variety to the show, I felt.
Have you guys ever been in one of these matches?
No, but after watching this, I sort of want to do one.
No, actually, I haven't done one of these matches, but yeah, I'm with Don. I'd like to have a go. How did it go for you, mate?
Yeah.
With it wasn't a strap; it was a steel chain.
Okay, so how did the steel chain go?
It was all right. It was different.
It was tough.
It's pretty hard to bump off the top rope when you're being dragged off with your left arm. But you forget that you're strapped to something, so you can't do full flip bump properly, but you forget and you nearly like DDT yourself off the top rope.
Nearly Ultimo Dragon did.
Yeah, definitely. Being hung over the top rope is not nice. Being bashed in the teeth when you're lying down. It's a ruthless match, man.
Do you want me to stop recording for a minute so we can shoot?
I think it's just the way it is, eh?
I would say Mark looks like he's having a Vietnam flashback.
Yeah, honestly, Mark,
listening.
I feel like we need a therapy session.
He's just 1,000 yards staring up, looking at him. It's like a chain hitting.
Hello,
something.
darkness, my old friend.
Surely that can't be the case. It can't have been that bad.
We're talking about this later. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Once this camera cuts, we're going to get the full scoop on this one.
And it's like,
if we remember.
What is it like? Who done it? Like Triple H and The Rock did one, didn't they? A strap match later on.
Yeah.
I think that's pinfalls and submissions and stuff, wasn't it? But obviously this one's different, isn't it? With the tapping the 4. The winner is the one that taps the 4 corners in succession. So. It's pretty different, and that's the one that I was in that type of match. So it was.
That's more the old school rules, isn't it? The whole corner.
I always think back to the Caribbean strap match between Steve Austin and Savio Vega. I think that is a prime example of what this type of match should be. I'm not saying Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs did a bad job by any stretch of the imagination, but no one tried to win until pretty much the end of the match.
Yeah. Whereas I think that's what you need to do, ain't it? You're there to try and that needs to be tactical all the way through. That's how you fill the gap.
The suspension,
because you can't do fake. If you can't do fake like false finishes and pins, and if that's not the finish to the match, if that's not the rules, then there's no point trying to demolish your opponent because you need to get to all 4 corners. You need to work to different type of match. You need to work, ain't you?
And I don't think Buff Bagwell's character is to try and be a tough guy either, which he tried to get across on this evening, and he needs to be a shitbag little heel.
It's chauvinistic. Like, look at me, how fucking beautiful I am.
Cut corners to make it easy for yourself type of character. Yeah.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
And he didn't really get that at this point. And what we'd seen of him previously was more on that vein than what we got here.
And it's a shame, really, because I think Buff had the look, man.
He had the stuff.
Yeah, he did.
He got the look.
Yeah.
He got the power.
I love it.
Also,
sorry, I forgot that we were live there.
Who's playing that soundtrack? Turn it off.
Yeah. Are we going to get copyright struck?
Shirley, turn it down, darling.
All I'm saying is, Rob, when you hear Buff Bagwell's actual theme music,
I am, lads. If I start shouting, this is serious. If I start shouting, you need to have a word because Like the pup's back from the vet today. Like he's had his operation. He's higher than me in Amsterdam, put it that way. So he's trying to get some sleep, and I'm in here obviously doing our gimmick. Yeah. And sometimes I get super excited. So if I do shout, lads, because I've already got a couple of text messages to say out loud. I am really consciously trying to keep it down. So please remind me if I get louder.
You need to build yourself a little, alcoves where they've got like them all soundproof, and you put it around you. That's what you need.
100%. I need some soundproofing gear.
Like a few egg boxes.
What I need is a shed outside with electricity.
What we all need that.
Yeah,
we all need
that's what I need. That is the plan for like a house in the future. A shed with power.
That's like the ultimate goal for a Patreon.
Let's go back to the match.
So we can get the shed.
So. There were some brutal shots with the strap. I think I think the one thing that I really didn't like at one stage was the superplex. There was no sell from either of them when it happened, and for me that move should take the wind out of you completely, regardless if it does or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Depends who you're doing it with. But
to me, that should be used as a long double down. That should.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
And in fairness,
that was straight back up.
Times this night. It wasn't just this match.
That's
the
true.
Superplex was used this way. And I have to agree with that totally. Totally agree with that.
So Buff also does the ref push off again. So this seems to be a Buff Bagwell spot, if you like. But he does get a good reaction, a huge reaction as well, especially being Randy Anderson rather than Scott Dickinson the last time round. Buffy's also talking to the camera a lot, breaking the fourth wall to the people watching at home. And he's saying all sorts of stuff, but I just think it's unique that he's doing it. Yeah. And it does add something to his character.
I feel it adds a sort of like, it's like, he's a dick. So does he, but he's letting you know that he knows. So it sort of makes it a little bit endearing. Like, he's a twat, but he's sort of funny, so I can let him away with it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I think if that's what he's aiming for, then I think he hits that perfectly. If he's just doing it to try and get more heat, then I don't think it works.
Mart, anything from you on the ring jacket or...
It was a good ring jacket. I don't,
Needs more top hat though. It needs more top hat.
We are going to get there. We are going to get to
stage.
Top hat.
Yeah. That's what it's missing, really. I'm
going to explode like a bukkake when it happens.
Oh shit!
So I love top hats, and I'm hoping that I can wear one again one day.
You need to. For this podcast, you need to wear like 2 top hats.
I think the first time that Buff Bagwell wears a top hat, you should also wear a top hat.
This is my top hat.
Yes, it's on.
What, the top hat promo gimmick or Mark's
that was
right there?
That one.
That was in another life.
And soon enough we'll be back to that life, brother. Trust me. So,
amen.
Scotty Riggs, as I mentioned, no one really goes through the corners throughout the match, so it's late into the match when Scotty Riggs is the first attempt to go for the corners. He's cut off with a backdrop onto the apron that absolutely kills him. He's then obviously hanged with the strap to add insult to injury, so to speak. And then for me, that had to be the finish. I couldn't see any other finish to that match. Obviously, Buff missed his blockbuster throughout as well, which looked pretty nice. Big back bump, like flip bump off the top rope, which was cool. Buff obviously wins after this spot, but he slaps the fourth corner with his ass to win.
Cheeky arsehole.
Yeah, bit cheeky. Buff then goes to the camera corner and says this: I don't know how many times I have to tell Mr. Faggot to stay at home, but maybe this time he will learn. As he's as he got a good old spanking.
97
yeah, wow, we really went there. Wow.
Put that in the Thunderdome nowadays, baby.
97 before
Fucking hell.
homophobia was a thing.
Well, this is the thing. You've got Tony Schiavone going, yeah, we're just here to look at the women sometimes.
Yeah.
And you've got Buff Bagwell calling Scotty Riggs a faggot. Wow. What a difference 24 years makes.
This is the thing, though. It's like we've watched stuff where it wouldn't fly today. Could not get away with the things we've watched.
That's right.
You know, so it is just the benefit of hindsight. Like back then, you're like, yeah. Nowadays,
you'd laugh at it back then. You'd go, oh, that's hilarious.
Especially the age we would have been back then. We'd have been what I would have been 9-10 years old. That would all been roughly about 10, the same age.
Yeah, I don't care how old I was.
We would have found it funny back then, but nowadays you're like,
yeah,
absolutely. So
you gotta be careful.
The match goes 12 minutes and 25 seconds. I'll give it 2 stars.
I'll give it 1.5.
Brilliant. I love that you waited.
I went 1.5 as well. I think this match could have gone 8 minutes and it'd been more than enough.
Probably do feel like I've been a little bit generous there then. So Dave's give it 1.25.
Okay.
Yep. We then get an NWO promo. Progan. Yeah. We get
Progan.
It pretty much is a Progan.
You can call it a Progan because that would be
accurate, wouldn't it?
Yeah. For this time, yeah.
Hogan.
So the one earlier on, would that have been a Pracho Man Mandy Savage?
Well, no, because that was split 50-50. That's what made that a really good segment, as Mark said. You know, the fact that the both of them knew what they were talking about, knew the story that they were selling, and obviously it come to a physical.
I've literally got myself back down to a semi. Don't make it hard again.
Well, we're about to talk about the Playboy magazine again. So, we've got Hogan, Hall, Nash, and Savage in the classic black and white. So they stick to the gimmick. Savage still looking through the Playboy magazine.
Class, I love it.
And they're just having a chat.
That, yeah.
But they're just having a chat. They're not really saying anything. They're just having a chat. The only thing that they get across is that they guarantee victory. And that's like what the tab is called on the WWE network. NWO guarantees victory. So that is the point of the promo. But other than that, they just have a chat.
It's a nothing promo.
Yeah.
It's a nothing promo.
We still got Team WCW to deliver a promo as well.
What a team, though. Them four. Savage, Hall, Nash, Hogan. What a fucking superpower team.
Some people might have all 4 of them in a top 5.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying we do. You know, we don't. But
some people
Savage is in there for me. Yeah. I'd put Savage in my top 5 comfortably. Don does not have any of them. And that's cool.
No.
Jerry Lynn over there.
Have we come across any of your top 5 yet, Don? Or?
We will later. One that I can think of is in the show later on.
Definitely Dennis Rodman then, yeah. Okay, carry on.
Big fan.
Okay, so we get the title card for a tornado match. That's the title card that we get here. Yeah. It is Mickey J refereeing this absolutely shitstorm of a match between Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray and Booker T, with Sister Sherry versus Public Enemy, who I can't even be asked to name, but I believe
Johnny Grunge.
Well, give us a chance, buddy. Like, I was going to try and do that off memory, and I had them names in my head, so I'm quite proud of that.
Proud of you.
But thank you, David Pencer.
It was the team with Bob Holly. What was they? Do you remember them from when there was the NWA Tag Team Champions?
Oh, it was Bob Holly and Bart Gunn, but they were called Bodacious
Bart.
Bombastic Bob. There you go. The new Midnight Express. We covered that in King of the Ring 98, didn't we? Yeah. What a day to be alive that was.
Thank God you don't have to do it again.
We watched them versus the New Age Outlaws. Obviously didn't make the top 6 of top 10. I don't think it did anyway. It could have for all we know.
I think by proxy, though, it has to make the top 10 just to sort of make the numbers.
Like, I would think the New Age Outlaws versus like the Usos from fucking 2014 or 2015 would be in there, to be honest with you, because that match was better than fucking anything they delivered back in the Attitude Era, to be fair.
Yeah.
They've got better as they got older, and that's because, you know, Road Dogg, for example, books matches these days. He produces them as a road agent, so I think he's got a little bit more experience in telling a story now.
Like Billy Gunn is it was a former King of the Ring.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say that, but then fucking Mabel is as well, so I've got nothing to fucking say about that.
Well, that's the thing. If you rank King of the Rings in order, you know, Mabel's the lowest on the scale. Yeah. Billy Gunn is not going to be far away from him. And I'm talking about when it used to be a pay-per-view. Fuck, like, you know, Barrett and you know, Corbin and Regal, unfortunately, because, you know, that
it's made for him.
It absolutely made for him.
For his gimmick.
But it never worked out when it's a fucking end of show, fucking post-show tournament on the back of a 3-hour episode of Monday Night Raw. The crowd aren't going to buy into that shit for one bit.
I think 97, 98 was the sort of as high as it was going to go. After that, it started going down.
Look, I think it started really well with Brett and Owen. Mabel in the middle, unfortunately.
There was a bit of a stumble.
And then they went, do you know what? We're going to use this as a platform like we do with the Royal Rumble. And that's also when you got Austin, Triple H. The Rock should have won it in 98 rather than Shamrock. Again, hindsight, when we talked about it, when we covered that event, I think the wrong man won that year. And then Billy Gunn won. And then I think it was Edge, maybe.
I think Edge, then Lesnar, if I'm right.
Lesnar was 02 because he didn't turn up till 02. So maybe Edge was 01 and I'm missing 2000. I can't think who it is off the top of my head. And then I think it pretty much ended after that.
I think they stopped it as a full pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was a shame, really. It was a shame because, you know, you love a tournament and so does Vince McMahon, to be fair. So why it ever stopped is beyond me.
Yeah. But anyway, back to this tornado tag match that we're talking about.
Do we have rock anyway?
Do we have to talk about it?
Of course we don't, because this was a 3-on-2 match.
How do you think? Quick question. Like,
it was.
Sister Sherry, like, what did you think of, like, Sister Sherry in this tag team? Obviously, she's got Sensational Sherry, like, before. Yeah. Sister Sherry, you know. I think she done a good gimmick here with Arlamite, to be fair.
I've got to be honest. If you on paper said, right, we've got Stevie Ray, Booker T, their manager is Sensational Sherry, you'd laugh at them. Yeah. You'd be like, what have you taken?
Back in the day, you've got two black guys from Harlem, rough off the streets, like, you know what I mean, like street fight, you know what I mean? And then let's put Sensational Sherry with them, who like, comes out in, like, you know, high heels and
face paint.
I think she added something to this team.
Yeah, she did. Definitely.
I think she did that with everyone. She really had.
Really good manager.
I think that's a very high praise for her.
I wouldn't even say she was a valet. She was won that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she was.
She did wrestle.
She did
wrestle for a while. And she was women's champion at one point.
She was. So, the thing is, right? She, you know, WWE, WWF at the time. You know, even like, because she would have joined WCW like 95, wouldn't she, roughly?
I think 95, yeah.
They didn't have a space for her. They didn't have anything for her in 95. So the fact that she jumped ship and they were able to put her with Harlem Heat and make something of them. Yeah. Two young, upcoming talents at the time. Yes, Booker T went on to do great things and Stevie Ray not so much, but 50% of the tag team going on to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they're both in there now, aren't they? I'm sure they are. Or are they?
Was inducted,
there you go. One's a proxy.
Yeah, of course it is. But that's like the Four Horsemen.
But you can't argue their run as a tag team, how many titles they picked up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll rate Arlamite, to be fair.
100%.
They're a good tag team.
Yeah.
I rate Booker T higher.
Yeah.
Booker T was fun, especially by the end of WCW.
Oh, Hogan.
He was on
Especially in that crate on a pole match. Fucking brilliant.
Oh, you gotta love it. What with Beetlejuice?
I know. Why don't we put 4 boxes on a crate, on a pole? And
Bro,
then
it will be perfect.
the title. How about we put the title in one of the boxes and they have to open it and see what's in there, like Crash Bandicoot? I know. That'd be great.
Bro, have you got a picture of Scott Hall we can put in one of these boxes? Oh, it's a shame that's not a pay-per-view match. That's a Nitro match.
What a bag of shit.
Anyway, speaking of bags of shit.
So, I've wrote, brace yourselves because it's Public Enemy. And literally, it is straight to the ass whipping because Harlem Heat, Sherry, frying pans, toilet lids,
commode lids.
I mean, the commentators are having a great time, aren't they?
The best thing is like Tony Schiavone trying to be dead serious.
Yeah,
like just in the middle of these two taking the piss. Yeah.
I think this. I actually got it written. I think this match was booked to pop.
And it popped him hard. This is like me in the dinner table.
At one point in the match, it's a bit later on, they put one of the members of Public Enemy in the bin. They both start punching. He starts crying, laughing, saying, "That's what I used to do to my little brother." I was like, what the fuck?
Lads, breaking news, lads. I've just won £186.97 on a 4-fold. I'll take that.
Well done, sir.
It's a nice little victory, that is.
Drinks are on, Rob.
Responsible gambling, lads. Responsible gambling.
I was like, I think we've spoke about something to do with gambling once on this show.
Bet out to tap out. No, what is he? Oh.
The advert worked with Mark Hartman.
the advert literally come on the other day, and we were like, "Why the fuck is he still playing on the telly?" Sizzle still making a mint. What a geezer! Fucking hell! I hope he's still the goals manager order. So anyway, this match is dead shit. Obviously, the commentators are living the dream. He just literally Dusty's enjoyed himself. That sets Brain off. That's what I've literally written. Stevie Ray gets chucked into the front row at one point, which was dead funny because the front row were like, "Oh no, please don't land on me, please." Trash cans, baking trays are us. They literally must have gone down to a Home Depot store and fucking brought loads from it just to hit pizza trays. Boom. Brain calls a baking tray a brownie tray at one point. I mean, I'm not sure if he was looking for some brownies after the show or something.
Or they'd just taken some before it.
But I need to ask who booked this shit.
Dusty Road for the bands. I'm calling it. He booked this for bands.
Do you know what? Yeah. I'd agree with that. Finally, the table gets done in. Double J
pay-per-view match. This is a pay-per-view match.
And I asked the question last month, and I am going to ask it again.
Okay.
Why the fuck did they sign Public Enemy?
It was to fuck over ECW.
Yeah, but it didn't really do that, did it, initially?
No, but that was the point, though.
ECW is still laughing at them for fucking 3 years after this. Thinking,
yeah, absolutely.
You had them.
Like, you had Public Enemy. We had the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
He's like...
You've got the real stars.
Yeah. You have the Public... In fairness, like 93, 94, they were quite big in ECW. But as you get into later in the run in ECW, they were just a footnote.
Are these around for the whole of this in WCW?
No.
Thank God.
I'm sure they make an appearance later on, surely, don't they? Don't they come back? Don't they come back early 2000s?
What, to face like fucking Shane Helms and
they part of the hardcore revolution?
It's the Acolytes, and they're quite heavy-handed with them. Farouk and Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah. Because they get signed by WF, don't they?
Yeah. And I think like 2 months later, they'll get fired.
And again, why?
Basically, because Farouk and Bradshaw kicked the shit out of them.
No, but why did they get signed?
I tell you what, if there's nothing else to be said, there's one thing you can say about this team. Sometimes it's not about what skills you have as a wrestler or what skills on a microphone. if you're popular, that's enough sometimes just to get your booked. And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Austin Barry Rhodes. So 30 minutes, 17 seconds. Double J, Mongo turn up, hit Rocco Rock with the briefcase. We're being convinced that there's something in the briefcase. I don't think anything needed to be in the fucking size of that motherfucking thing.
The talent of Mongo. It's like Pandora's box. The only way it's going to get unleashed is it never will be opened.
There we go. You really did recover yourself there, because Pandora's box for me sounds like, you know, a wealth of depth and whatever else is in there. And you're saying Mongo's talent, and I'm thinking, fuck me, is he saying that deep down inside there's something in there? But thankfully,
no, that's the evil that's above the hype.
Okay, yeah.
I reckon he gave that briefcase to Chris Benoit, and then the rest was historical.
Poetry.
I think the people that gave them the briefcase was actually Kate and Jerry, but that's just the headcanon. It.
Yeah, they also did 9/11.
The Titanic.
You name it. That iceberg was specifically made by Kate and Jerry McCann.
By Kate's frozen tears.
Like I heard as well that
Jerry McCann was Hitler, you know.
Jerry McCann was driving the actual car that JFK was shot in as well.
That's true.
Wasn't supposed to go down that street.
Kate and Jerry actually built the tunnel that lady died was killed in.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah.
Fucking wankers, man.
And they were the French paparazzi as well.
Yeah. Good luck, Harry and Meghan.
He will die in a car crash next week.
No, they'll avoid tunnels. It's fine. If a plane goes into a building, though,
he'll avoid tunnels a bit like Prince Andrew.
What, you mean children's tunnels?
No, did I mention I won £186.97?
Did I mention what I've written on the board wasn't just a gimmick? That's real life. Like, that's mantra. That's mantra.
So Booker T hits the Harlem Hangover.
Very nice. It was very
nearly
nice.
Breaks Rocco Rock's face because
such
he
a dangerous
moved
move.
into it.
Such a
you know what?
dangerous
Though? I love it.
Look, Booker T's got the timing for it. If Rocco Rock just stayed there and protected himself as any normal human being should, rather than rolling, fucking hell. Anyway, you're right there.
Kate and Jerry did it. Yeah, I agree.
Coronavirus.
You just need to stay. Turn your head. Just don't move.
Didn't trust him, did he?
Anyway, Harlem Heat go over. Yeah, I have changed my mind. I am giving it 0 stars, lads.
I'm going to be honest. I had to give it half a star just for Dusty.
I did originally.
Yeah, half a star for me as well. Purely because the commentators are just loving this match.
It was banned.
It entertained me. Yeah.
To be fair, I did have a laugh. I am going to keep my original rating, 0.5 for me. But
that's why the commentators are there, though. This is for the reason. If the match was shit, then at least the commentators kept you watching. You know, and that's what they get paid for.
That's
keep it flowing.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being someone there live watching it.
Yeah, imagine that with our commentary, just sitting there watching it.
Oh God.
So
that's hard.
Team WCW are here with Mean Gene, who explain what happens depending on which team wins. I still don't want to explain it, if I'm honest. Luger, Steiner, Math, and Captain Insano cut to promo. It's a pretty straightforward promo. Steiner wants to get back at the NWO for what they've done to Rick. The Giant wants a bit of revenge too. He used to be in the NWO.
He needs a fight Lodge as well.
He really does. He's dead.
Yeah. When he's shouting, it was like when he talks like. I'm going to do, like it's really laboured.
What I noticed this month though is
them fags, are you?
There you go. This month though, he didn't tell us that he was composed, and I feel that impacted him in the match. To be honest, lads.
Yeah.
Do you feel that because Captain Insano wasn't in fact insane, that was probably the issue for later on?
It was definitely the main issue for later on. I feel. It's true. It's damn true.
All I'm saying is, since we've mentioned Captain Insano, what's happened in wrestling?
He's blew up.
We
blew up the internet.
We fucking called this.
I reckon our mate Conan's gone on the blower.
Yeah. Book this shit.
Yeah.
I love it. If that case. Conan 5 stars every time, all the time.
Yeah. Conan keeps it 100, baby.
He does. Yeah. Disco's got on there. Disco's got on there. Had a word with Vince Russo. He's been speaking to fucking.
We're not on the list yet, so we keep going.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Disco to turn up on pay-per-view, though, boys. I'm not going to lie to you. Luger just flexes, and then he finally talks. But I'll be honest, I fell asleep while he was talking.
Yeah,
Luger's never been a strong promo. He's been strong at posing.
The strongest promo that Lex Luger ever did was at WrestleMania 8, drinking a pint of milk.
And it was a stunner. It was a stunning promo. Actually, I think the only other promo he ever did was the Narcissus.
That was a good gimmick, to be fair. I'll give him that.
That was brain.
I thought he was going to say the best promo he's ever done was the one where he couldn't take his t-shirt off in the backstage.
The T2 too tight,
He was great. It was great.
He's just there like this.
Who makes these t-shirts? Something like that.
How would you be that ripped and not be able to like rip a t-shirt?
I watched a backstage promo the other day, and I don't know if I shared it with you lads, to be honest, but it was the British Bulldog in WCW, and who was the other chap? Alex Wright.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this
German sensation. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this one, but the bloke was interviewing him, going, "So Alex Wright's like, German, and you're British, like, what's the crack?" And Bulldog was like, "I'm better than him because I've been wrestling 20 years." And he couldn't get his words out. He was dead funny. Yeah. And then Alex Wright come in and goes, he talks in German, "Hitler is the best," or something like that. And then the Bulldog hits him, and he just goes to shit. He's dead funny. I really need to find it and share it with you. Please, I hope it's on pay-per-view.
Oh, I need to see this. This has got to be WCW, clearly.
It was.
Yeah, it had to be.
So we get a title card, not only for the return match, but also for the WCW television title. It is Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Prince Iakea.
We're back again.
Get your Swedish meatballs at fucking yellow and blue store.
Hot dog and ice cream.
There you
go. Get your cinnamon swirls.
Mark Curtis is your ref. Mike today is back for the cruiserweights, although he doesn't get a title card this time.
Look, he got more than most people. So.
And it's not for the cruiserweight title.
It's not. Which is, I think it's because they've seen a bloke in a mask and go, "Yep, bring in tonight. It must be a luchador."
Absolutely. You need to be on to call these matches. Hurricanrana.
What is a Hunan Ken Rana?
Literally, Brain and Dusty going, sorry. What is this shit?
Oh, fuck it. Like, can we just talk about Rey Mysterio's gear quickly?
Spider-Man.
Spider Ray?
Oh, I felt so. Yeah. I felt he was Spider-Man. Inspired.
Like, I always like Mysterio when he does that with his gear. It's like, I've got an idea. I'm just going to, like, do some sort of reference.
But it got better, obviously, down the years. Then it,
Joker,
here at this. Flash. Yeah, but I would argue that, he did Joker gear in WCW, for example.
Yeah, the thing is, though, like, when WWF, because obviously, like, pop culture had been a thing of, like, nerd, like, comics and that become bigger.
Also South Park.
He was doing this in 97. When comics weren't as big, so I have to respect that a little bit more. That
what do you think that it took so long for Marvel and DC to become what they became?
Have you watched the movies from the 90s and before?
There you go.
Yeah, I think technology's developed, and they've obviously been able to capitalise on the look and the aesthetics of a blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Forever.
Transformers opened the door, I feel, for blockbuster movies.
Transformers was that was the cinematic. That was the cinematic look.
Michael Bay did a really good job with that original film.
And if you look at a lot of the camera shots, that is based on the depth of field and stuff like that, like the vast size of things.
Yeah.
Transformers did that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The different perspectives.
And then Christopher Nolan turned up, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm going to have to argue that point.
Go on.
I think Tim Burton's first two Batmen were far superior than Michael Bay's version, because it made like sort of lesser known comic.
Tim Burton, are we talking about the fucking George Clooney Batman?
No.
Michael Keaton.
That's That's Schumacher.
Yeah, Schumacher. Yeah.
What's his name?
Joel Schumacher.
Yeah. He done that shit with George Clooney and Val Kilmer and all that fucking shit.
Well, yeah, they were terrible.
Tim Burton did Batman and Batman.
Tim Burton did the first two Batman movies.
So 89, we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Penguin in the second one, yeah.
Penguin was good one as well.
Pfeiffer.
Oh,
Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
And we all know,
like, that's a top 5.
We all know that Michelle Pfeiffer loves that white gold.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
You know where I'm going with this, boys.
Come on. Go for it. No, go on. It's all you.
This is that ice cold Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. This one's for them good girls, them hood girls, straight masturbate, styling, whiling, living it up in the city. Got my chucks on, singing a song. Got to kiss myself, I'm so pretty. Too hot.
Hot damn.
Call the police and the fireman. Too hot. Hot damn. Call the police and the fireman. I'm a band about that money. Girl said, hallelujah. Girl said, hallelujah. Because Uptown don't give it to you. Don't give it to you. Saturday night, we're in the spot. Don't believe you, just watch. Ooh.
I think someone's got competition marked. I know, yeah.
Are you fucking in? Because the Macho Man would do a way better version than I ever could do.
The Macho Man would fuck Bruno Mars right in the ass if he was still alive.
Oh, do you know what? I'd pay to see that as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I mean...
With his own guitar.
I want X-Pac to film it.
I mean, personally, that song is ruined for me, because every time he goes...
I want it on GMTV, not GTV.
I want Piers Morgan to do a interview about it.
Piers Morgan got absolutely raped by some black woman about these royals, then he was fantastic.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he fucking literally, can I speak? Can I defend the royal family? No, you can let me finish. Oh, but you keep going on. I ain't finished. Can I talk now? Yeah, you can talk now. I think what you said about the Queen is absolute disgraceful. Well, I think you're a dickhead. that's what she might as well have said anyway.
You know what? Can't argue with that logic. Can't argue
Fair
with
play.
it.
Most of Twitter would agree with that. But they agree with a lot of things, don't they? Oh, cringy. Anyway, we are Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Prince Iaukea for the television championship. It's an all right match, and I do want to
last month.
I do want to talk about the point that Tenay mentioned. It is better than last month. There is definitely a lot more chemistry. There's no regal finish. It's a good match. Tenay basically puts Prince Iaukea over as the contender for Rookie of the Year. Tenay explains that the Giant won this in 1996. I'm really not sure about what WCW did in terms of the Rookie of the Year, but he does pick up the PWI Rookie of the Year for 1997. And he still takes bookings to this day at the age of 56.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking dead impressive, to be fair.
I'm going to say, if you see a picture of him nowadays, I mean, I don't know what he looks like, but...
Meng.
You know what? If he looks like Meng, he's probably just getting away with, like, saying, sorry, mate, you know I'm Meng. Book me or I will rip your head off.
I will kill you.
I need to see what a picture of it he looks like now.
No way. Okay. While you do that, I will explain that there were some nice exchanges in the match. With some floppy shizzle thrown in there is the best way that I could explain it. Like last month, it just slowed down like in the middle of the match, which I feel hurts it. Tenay talks about the time limit as well. So on a Nitro episode, for example, they get 10 minutes. Because it's pay-per-view, they get 15 minutes. Now, here's the problem. We do end up with a time limit finish. Now, the official time limit that is given for this match online ends at 13 minutes and 41 seconds. So I haven't had a stopwatch from bell to bell, but I'll trust the internet on this one. It apparently finishes before 15 minutes.
You're pretty good with bell to bell times on you as well. So,
I told myself.
Yeah.
I told myself when I've done 42 minutes in a Black Country Championship tournament, for example. 52 minutes in a Golden Gimmick Rumble, for example. But I did
52 minutes straight, yeah. Fucking fair play.
I was number one. It didn't matter.
Work, baby.
It did not matter what I did for 42 minutes of that match.
Yeah.
Which was produce it from backstage. Waiting for you to throw me back out the curtain.
Full gear in front of the monitor.
Literally.
This match was a bit shite for me.
You didn't like it?
Nah.
Huh?
Nah.
That surprises me a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe I was just spent on this type of match for this pay-per-view. Maybe I know they've done it purposely, spread it out just before the main, give it a bit of time between the first two matches. I don't know. I've never been a big Ray fan, to be honest, as well.
Okay.
Never.
I thought he'd be in your top 10.
No.
Okay.
Not close.
Wow.
No.
I think this match suffered with position as well.
Yeah, it's the piss break match, isn't it?
The crowd were dead for this up to a certain point.
If they've got a program or something, they know. You don't know how them advertising it as well. You don't have to have got a list of matches like they do. You know what I mean? 97's a different year, ain't it, to nowadays? But then people know how many matches are on, and they've gone through the thing, and then they think, oh yeah, there's only 2 matches left now. Let's go for a piss, like you said. You know,
Literally.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So, yeah.
I think it's a shame as well because this was definitely better than Super Brawls, but it still wasn't.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wasn't into it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when the crowd was chanting "boring," I was like, "This."
And then Rey Mysterio shut them up with an absolutely fantastic move, didn't he?
Yeah.
But that was after the restart, so I think it got to the time limit finish, and like obviously no one's counting it. I'm not counting it, but the crowd have gone, that was 15 minutes. Okay, fair enough. Let's move on to the next match. And
that was no way 15.
I don't think it was. I think it was 13:41 with the second part. So what happens? We get to a time limit draw. Rey Mysterio gets on the microphone, pretends he's in front of 2 people to get them worked up, and says, "Come on, let's go some more, yeah. I deserve more, yeah."
Is this Dusty Rhodes doing the impression of Ray?
Correct.
Listen, Daddy, I need more minutes to do
Prince IKEA. That's what I'm calling him from now on. That's what I'm calling him from now on.
That's fine. I'm cool with
Prince IKEA turns around and says, "Yeah, go on then. I ain't really got anywhere to go, so I'll
potentially a rookie of the year.
Yeah. I'll put the belt back on the line. Let's have a go." So he does. Mark Curtis apparently books the match there and then because he's in the booking committee, apparently. Rings the bell. Let's go. They go a little bit longer. There is a reversal of what is now known as the West Coast Pop. And Prince IKEA, he's really getting a push here because he wins. And he retains
a sort of small package.
Yes.
Like you get from his namesake.
There we go. So he wins and retains the television championship after 30 minutes and 41 seconds in total. I'm going to go with. I'll give it 1 star.
I was a little bit more generous with this. I went 1.5.
Okay.
I think the crowd were going in the middle. And then when that restart happened, it seemed to wake them up.
Well, it did and it didn't. It woke them up for a boring chance. And then he hit that impactful move to wake them back up. And then he went straight to the West Coast Pop finish, really.
Yeah.
And then they were out of there. So it was cool.
I've got a feeling that whole thing wasn't meant to happen.
What, the aftermath?
Yeah, I've just got a feeling that that was leading to that finish anyway.
Okay, and they
then
rang the bell early.
And it was like, we've got to just fucking throw something. Just say, oh, give me some more time, we'll finish it.
Well, to be fair, you saying that actually makes a bit of sense because, as I've said, they're giving 10 minutes for Nitro and, you know, TV tapings. They get to pay-per-view, they're told they got 15 minutes. What if Dave Pencer makes a mistake and thinks it's 10 and rings the bell? It's possible.
Yeah.
We see all sorts of shit happen on WCW. We see less in WWF, but we see it a lot in WCW where there's a lack of communication. You know, let's talk about the fucking Miss NWO, for example. They weren't smartened up to fuck, so it was terrible.
So I don't know. I think there's some merit to it there. Did
really
that happen? Or, I don't know.
I think you've got that on the money. To be fair, Don.
But like you and 186 quid you've just recently come into.
Here comes the money.
£186.97.
Well done.
Could have rounded it up, couldn't they, the stingy fuckers?
To be fair, lads,
think?
It was 200 quid yesterday after the weekend's events, and now I'll withdraw 150 from that. So, yeah, gambling's going all right at a minute, but responsible gambling, kids. It's Cheltenham Festival next week. I'll have some tips if you want to let me know. You want to get involved? Drop me a message. I'll lose you some money.
I might actually message you, like say, dude, like pick a horse.
Yeah, so 25 quid entry fee for some tips. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm pretty confident. Cheltenham's coming up. I've got a target in mind. I'm quite excited about it, to be fair. I love it for the sport. Never mind the money. The sport is pretty intense. Like I get a rush off, especially if the horse that you picked is heading towards the finish and it's close to victory. Like obviously that's the best feeling. But
have you ever been to Cheltenham?
No, that like literally me and John Bentley from work have talked about it.
Shout out to Little John.
Shout out to Little John. We've talked about it so many times, and obviously, like lockdowns happen now. There's no obviously fans allowed this year. Maybe next year we can get a group and go on a piss up. Man.
So intense. Like we went to the pub for points and a breakfast, ready for the coach at like fucking 7 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't get back to like fucking 2 o'clock. Like the more like.
Did you go on like Gold Cup Day as well?
I can't remember, mate. I just remember just being like there was literally about 45. Just like lines of pulls of Guinness. That's all. That's all. Like there's 110. That's all the sold was Guinness. Wow. And there's about 45 all in a row. It was fucking amazing.
Jesus. I need to go.
I'm gonna say
it's on the bucket list. It's on the bucket list.
I'm not gonna lie. Like we're talking about sports. The one sport I've been watching over lockdown that's kept me entertained is marble racing. Because I've got a weird thing with it now. I can't even explain.
Are you done? No, seriously. Are you all right, mate? So,
no.
Do you need to like?
No, he's not. I'll tell you what I did come across the other day though on Snapchat of all things. Like you know when you click obviously the thing to see all the stories and so on and so forth.
Yeah. In
the sort of news sections or the advertised sections, if you like, there was World Tag Championships, which is basically a game of tag as grown men on this like assault course, if you like. It is parkour, absolutely parkour. Some would say, and fuck me, it was intense. I was into it while I was having a shit dance. So I ain't gonna lie, it kept me going for that 20 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, there's such weird sports out there that you know. I mean, we've just mentioned two right there. I mean, you know.
But more importantly, Martin, what is your star rating for Prince Ikea versus Rey Mysterio?
I can't give it 0, so I'll have to give it 0.5.
Okay.
I can't give anything 0. Have I given something 0 before?
You've definitely given something 0 before.
I think we've done it in the past, but I think we've all sort of moved on unless it's really been.
We've all grown up, haven't we, Don?
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
I haven't. I'm really aggressive when it comes to giving a 0-star match. And to be honest, I'm quite close to changing my mind on this next one. So, first of all, we get the advertisement for Spring Stampede. It's an old Western theme, so it's Back to the Future 3, if you've seen that one. but it's with the Four Horsemen. There's no fucking point to this at all. Not one single point was made other than Bobby the Brain Heenan taking the piss out of Arn Anderson's hat at the end of it.
Yeah, I think that was all it was for, really. It's just to give Brain a reason to rip the piss.
Michael Buffer's in the building, baby. Title card galore. We get title cards for each team name. Plus, we also get 3 team tag matches as title card too. What is going on with these graphics? Seriously. Buffer earns his payday, though, that's for sure. Does anyone want to explain the rules and stipulations? Because I don't.
Okay.
Thanks, Don.
So, if I'm right, it's essentially a war game style match.
That's right. That's what I thought.
But with a bit of Battle Bowl in there.
We've had a cage.
And a bit of the Battle Bowl.
100% because of the over top rope eliminations. Yeah. There we go.
But they also said knockout.
I know how to win a Battle Bowl. I've got a trophy. Maybe I handed it back. Maybe it's at home. I don't know.
But I think it was the stipulations for which team won.
I drank so much whiskey. It's fantastic.
Oh.
I know he's locked out there. He's locked out the bedroom. That's it.
I'm staying in this one tonight.
Yeah.
That's all right, mate. But it was like, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong with this. If WCW win, one of their members is last to survive, NWO can't wrestle in WCW for 3 years.
And they have to hand in all the titles.
Correct.
Yeah.
If Piper's
Thanks, mate.
wins, Piper gets Hogan in a cage match.
Yeah.
And if NWO win, they can challenge for any belt at any time, anywhere.
Even though they've got all of them.
More or
pretty
less.
much.
Well, I don't get what does Piper's team get out of it, like except apart from Piper.
They get a main event payday.
I didn't understand why there was 2 Team WCWs because that in effect is what it is.
Yeah. This would have worked maybe a year later when NWO Wolfpack was around because they're not.
There was doing this sort of thing a year later. They were now with the Wolfpack, NWO, and WCW.
But that makes sense.
Yeah. 3 factions, I know.
Yeah. Where with this, it was like,
do you think
if you two were smart, make a deal, get WCW to win, and Piper will book you against Hogan.
Yeah.
We'll just book you against him because, we can hire him back as his own.
Do you think Dusty Rhodes created this match?
No.
This feels like a Kevin Sullivan sort of thing.
I think Dusty's too clever. He wouldn't do something like that. He'd pop himself in some other matches, but I don't think he'd do this in the main event of a sport that he loves.
Yeah. I think the whole thing of War Games is supposedly he had a hand in the creation of it. But those rules make sense. To over-convolute it doesn't make any sense.
And that's exactly what happened here. It was just so complicated to keep fucking track of. It was ridiculous. So let's move on. Randy Anderson, the poor bastard, is the referee in the middle of it all. Benoit's first out to Piper's music. That was weird.
Yeah.
I thought, fucking hell, Piper started. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Tony, he doesn't have a clue, what's going on in terms of if people are going to be around the ring or they're going to be waiting backstage. He's just fucking freestyling. I think they all are at this point. The NWO music hits. It's one half of the tag team champions. It's Scott Hall, and then I felt that was interesting that he weren't wearing a belt. Thought it was a little bit disrespectful to the championship. If I'm honest with you, I understand Kevin Nash not wearing it because he was out a little bit later, but Hall was the first participant, so he could have wore it to the ring. He didn't.
To be fair though, you don't wear titles if it's not on the line, do you?
Yeah.
But there's a question though. You're still the champion of that, so there's the question: would you still wear your title even if you're not in a match that has that title on the line?
I was always told that ain't the case.
Well, whoever told you that, can go fuck themselves, because the bottom line is you should wear and represent the championship that you.
If you are a champion, then you bring your belt to the ring. That's what I
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to kayfabe argue this. If NWO lose, they lose them titles. So technically, it's a title match.
Absolutely, that's correct.
So,
So you could call this a he did.
Because if they do lose, then where do they get? How do they take the belts off them? If they haven't brought them to the ring, how does the ref get the belts off them? Yeah. You know what I mean?
There you go. See, kayfabe, keeping kayfabe alive since 1988, apparently.
I was going to read right there.
What year are you, Mark? You've got to be like 85, or is that right?
What? Fucking hell.
1885, are you
No.
80 fucking 7, eh?
All right, mate. Fucking hell, I was only 2 years out.
Oh, fucking 2 years is a lot of my fucking age.
I love that you're 87, he's 88, and I'm 89.
Yeah.
That's good, That's good. You
don't
understand how excited I am about it.
Oh.
Shut up and dance with me.
It's all right. Your fucking Don's body's going to break down next year, and then yours is going to be the year after. Mine's already started now.
Trust me, lads. Like
my brain went about 5 years ago, so my body can't be that far behind.
Yeah, we ain't that far out, to be fair. Look, yeah, let's move on quickly. So the Giant was the first out for Team WCW. I was I was dead surprised about this. Yeah, I agree with your stupid chant there, Don. I do agree with that. The Giant's obviously taking his time getting to the ring. Benoit is apparently attacking Hall. We don't see this straight away. Buffer's still fucking talking shit. And I just could not believe that I had to sit through 5 minutes of this triple threat match.
It's a triple threat match, there's no real thing.
But it should be a handicap match, really. The commentators called it. It should have been Benoit and the Giant versus Scott Hall.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. The Giant come in and closed on the pair of them straight off the bat.
Stupid. It really was stupid. Like, as a concept, I think everything of this match was fucking stupid.
I'm dead happy that you're fuming about it, to be honest.
I'm actually really fucking stupid. Like, my thing with this is there's no logic.
That makes sense.
I know we're talking about wrestling, and I know that the sort of suspension of disbelief.
What do you mean?
This is like you can suspend disbelief. That I don't know.
Yeah, but wrestling makes sense a lot of the time.
Yeah, but this fucking didn't.
Yeah, this didn't. I agree with you.
Proved it for the next 5 years.
I think it's the fact they said, well, this is wrestling, like it should make no sense altogether.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I had to call him out, because like wrestling should make sense. Like a film should make sense. Yeah. Like a theatre production should make sense. We've talked about this, yeah.
But like wrestling replacements make sense.
Wrestling should make sense. Like, yeah, absolutely. That film is going to be like fucking amazing. Straight to DVD, but 5 stars.
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer in the Tokyo Dome watching it by himself, pulling his dick. Bukaki in a ribeye jacket, obviously. A Ribeira, sorry, not a ribeye. I do apologise. Ribeye jacket. You can get one of them from Miller and Carter these days.
I just want a jacket, like a bomber jacket, and just slap a ribeye steak on the chest and go, there's my ribeye jacket.
Fantastic.
Like, I swear to God, the logic in this match was so fucking convoluted.
There wasn't any?
No. It really dragged the match.
Anything from you, Mark, on this one? Because I am going to talk through it quite quickly. I'm not going to lie to you.
How come? All of them.
So, like I say, 5 minutes of this shitty triple threat match. There's a big choke slam to Chris Benoit, which was like pretty fucking impressive, to be fair.
Yeah, he went up.
Then Hall breaks up the pin. It's an elimination match. Oh, what are you doing? Obviously, from there, Giant gets eliminated over the top rope. Not once did Michael Buffer, Tony Schiavone, anybody mention that you could get eliminated by going over the top rope. And then all of a sudden, the Giant goes over the top rope and Randy Anderson waves it off to say he's been eliminated. Thanks for letting us know, guys.
And this is the thing, though, because if you look at how many people got eliminated and how they got eliminated,
A lot was over the top rope.
yeah.
Double J is the next one for Piper's team. Luger for WCW, but the man himself, as we pass you over to Martin Holland for one of our favourite segments on the show, as the Macho Man Randy Savage makes his appearance for the New World Order.
Okay, what is that?
Oh, so you want a bit of cheering up?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, you need a bit of.
We need a bit of.
I need the cream to rise to the top, shall we say?
Oh, I get you. Yeah. So this is the Macho Man Randy Savage from the #1 multi-selling 160 countries, hit the top in no more than 2 hours. This is Be a Man, the album, and this is actually the song of the album. It's Be a Man. This is the song.
This is the title track.
This is the title track.
This is
Be a Man.
big.
This is big.
This is
Finally
Be a Man.
wrestling on a pay-per-view in '97, and this is what we get. I love it.
I believe this might be a bit of a bit of a like
Hanger. I fully expected it.
yeah, I think it's a bit of like a shoot. This, I think he's I think he's pulled a bit of a shot here.
He's spitting straight.
Do you think he's talking to his brother?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what you think. So,
Okay.
this is Macho Man, Be a Man. So they call you Hollywood, huh? Don't make me laugh. Because your movies and your acting skills are both trash. Your movies straight to video, the box office can't stand. While I got myself a feature role in Spider-Man. Yeah. Love it. You're hiding man, but when I find yeah. You're hiding man, but when I find you, it's on. Fucking talking now. And when I slam you to the dirt, you'll wish yours never born. I smell a coward. Is that you, Hogan? Macho's gonna kick your butt is the slogan. So you try to ignore me thinking I'll go away. But I'ma keep on messing with you, dude, day after day. And once you step to Macho, you're through. The joke's on you, so Hulk, what you gonna do? Probably nothing, because you're a real big punk. You called my dad up on the phone, man, you's a chump.
You motherfucker.
Because if you really got static, take it up with me, and I'll punk your butt out for the world to see. What a guy.
The mic has officially been dropped.
What, mate, people are trying to shut Eminem down in this day and age.
What is that all about?
Like,
Let's just fucking dissect that for a second.
Rather than talk about this match, yeah. No, totally. Like those lyrics, Shakespeare couldn't hold a candle to. Like, not even. Like, you know, Wu-Tang Clan, Tribe Called Quest, Beastie Boys, like these are groups who just exactly Busta Rhymes. Yeah,
it is definitely that sounds like a bit of Busta Rhymes.
Michael, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay, Michael.
Like, look, you had a bad time. You had a bad time once.
All right, Mike. It's okay. I know we got away. It's okay.
Calm your shit. You've got sequels. What's he doing?
Exactly.
Getting that done by Macho Man Randy Savage on the mic.
Oh, wow.
Like, we're in shock right now.
Don, what does your t-shirt say?
My t-shirt says they were wanted, they were doomed.
Oh, Charleston.
No, and on Friday the 13th, nothing will save them.
Is it a Jason t-shirt, yeah?
It's a Friday the 13th shirt.
Yeah.
What's your t-shirt say, Rob?
It was my phone. I dropped it on the floor.
Nice.
Put your t-shirt over your head, Rob.
Nope.
Just put Archer's face on your face and
Yeah.
then do the rest of the promo like this. My headphones off as well, so it's just.
So
Mate, if your
Burt
headphones at the floor as well,
Reynolds.
you're in
This is
fucking
perfect,
trouble.
This is perfect.
I just want to let you know that I love Burt Reynolds.
I've got a John Cena t-shirt on. I never thought I'd buy myself one, to be fair, but it was on offer.
Oh, so what's on your t-shirt right now, Mark?
It's like a John Cena. It's like proper retro.
Show us then.
Go on. There's nothing there. I can't see it.
I literally can't see you.
No.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Fair play. Well done.
Mark, just a quick question. You know, when you was reading the lyrics to Be a Man, what did you feel? Because after all, you're the person that sort of brought this to our collective knowledge, the lyrics. What did you personally get from the lyrics?
Meant attention, not knowledge.
I think that he's a bit angry.
I'm alright with it.
He's a bit upset with something. Maybe Hogan.
Did Hogan rape his dad?
What happened with his dad and Hogan? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Hogan's a bit controversial. Like, he's been controversial a bit in the past few years. You know what I mean? Who knows what happened with Macho Man's dad? Or he's got so much beef with him. But, you know.
And that was this.
This is the guy that inducted him into Hall of Fame.
That's
times
correct.
have changed, yeah.
Cream rises to the top, brother. So yeah, we get the next three in. There's some big names in the ring right now. You know, Luger gets his strength put over 2 minutes between the next ones. I was happy about rather than waiting 5 minutes. Mongo turns up for Piper's team. Nash turns up for the NWO. Scott Steiner turns up for WCW, and obviously that is it now for Team WCW. There's no one else to follow. There's Rick Steiner. There you go. They are happy to put this over more and more as we go along. And honestly, Randy Anderson, I honestly felt sorry for him because that ring is packed.
Yeah.
Nash just stood there watching Steiner lift Hall up at one point. Just for bants, before jumping him and then getting an absolutely fantastic belly to back suplex by Steiner on Nash for his trouble. And then Savage got more of the same as well. Steiner was really, really being put over here by the NWO, but I don't think he was ready to step up to Big Papa Pump level yet.
He needs about a year. Give him about a year, though.
He's getting there. He's getting there.
He looks like a different guy as well, don't he? Remember we said like when Macho Man
like his look at this point.
Nah. When Macho Man took all his stuff off, he took his hat off and his glasses, and he just didn't look like Macho Man.
No, he didn't.
It's weird. But the same as Scott Steiner, like all his black hair, and it just didn't look like.
I'm glad he didn't have that goatee like he did at Sold Out. Like that was terrible. Like I'm glad he'd had a shave before his trip in Japan and back here.
I think that's the thing, though. It's
Double booked.
It's weird when you see a guy who's got a gimmick and he's sort of changed between the two, and there's that intermediate part. I feel like this is what we're getting right now with Scott. We're getting that intermediate part, like he's in his teenage.
Is it like when you're growing your hair, but you get that part where you look? There's nothing you can do with it. Like it's just getting a bit weird.
We will be getting. Yeah. Well, hold on, Don. You say that, but can you put your head down towards camera, please?
No, because I don't want to blind people with the ball.
No, I can see some hair growing there.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on.
Okay, fair dues. I think we're going to have a similar conversation with Triple H soon, aren't we?
Yeah.
When he does find his rhythm with Sean, then, you know, fair dues. But he makes that little adjustment first, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, Double J gets eliminated by Nash. Mongo gets eliminated by Hall. Then Piper comes out. Scott Steiner was eliminated by Nash during Piper's entrance. The clock came on randomly with 50 seconds, but Hogan should have been out there already.
Yeah.
Hogan and Rodman then decide to start walking out. Rodman's obviously carrying the World Heavyweight title. The voiceover guy turns back up.
I popped for this actually.
Of course you did.
I popped for the voiceover guy.
The legend, that we can't remember his name, but Loser. He didn't say that. He was like putting over Hogan as like the best thing since sliced bread and yada yada yada. Yeah, Dennis Rodman, blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
Rodman. That's how it sounded.
Yeah, he announced them. Michael Buffer announced them. Fucking give it a rest, will you, lads? For fuck's sake. It's just, Piper and Hogan looked awful again. They really did. They're outside most of it. Hogan did try to escape sort of like midway up the entranceway into the crowd, which I found quite funny because it was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out of here. No matter what way I can get out, I'm getting out. And I just found it funny rather than like it weren't a serious threat for me. Like Piper I can't take Piper seriously in 1997.
No.
And as well, Hogan just wanted to obviously just do the least amount of work possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know,
getting a big payday for nothing.
Yeah, he positioned himself to where he would do fuck all. And that's why he didn't go in the ring, because there's too much action in there. You'd have to fucking work in there.
Mm.
Let's go outside and let's just fuck about and just pull face at the crowd and you know what I mean, mug them off and job done.
Took a few bumps in this match and that's all it took.
Yeah.
They end up back in the ring. Savage obviously comes out to help. But then like Hogan, he's signaling Rodman like, it's now's your spot. Yeah, now's your spot, buddy. So Rodman pulls down the rope. Piper's eliminated. The police have to hold him back as he goes after Rodman, which I found dead strange that the police just randomly turned up because it was Dennis Rodman. And then it just becomes an absolute mess. And to be fair, saying that it's been a mess since the beginning, hasn't it?
This match did not need to be this complicated.
No, it really didn't. Really didn't.
You could have had this as a three-way match. You could have had Hogan versus Piper versus Luger.
Yeah.
With the same stipulation. And
agreed.
Just as good.
The Giant was losing his spot though. He went from sold out in the championship match to then this tag team titles, handicap, whatever.
And then this shit. Yeah.
And then this. It was just slowly like on the descent here to 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after these three pay-per-views, like, you know, year to date, he's going downhill here.
Rookie of the year, right?
I think he debuted a year ago.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Pretty slow.
Whereas on the other hand, you had fucking Ahmed Fuckface Johnson, you know, Rookie of the Year, whatever, Sensation 96. He was on the...
New Sensation.
Do you know what I mean?
Kuwaiti
I'm going to mention him because some point your cunts are going to fucking mention him anyway. So
you got there before us.
Yeah.
I love the fact is though he's so worked up by this that he's just outright like still putting him over.
How many knee pads did he have on again?
Our job is done.
4 knee pads. He probably had fucking knee pads on his elbows. No, that fucking... Yeah.
I think they're called elbows.
No, I think he had knee pads on his elbows. He must have. He loves knee pads. He has shares in all the knee pads.
Cut off jeans as well.
He had a share in Trace.
He owns Trace.
Yeah.
He's a 49% owner in Trace.
Yeah.
Volleyball and wrestling.
So Mark, recently, right, Ahmed Johnson's going out and talking all this shit about Mark Henry.
Is he?
Like very recently. Yeah. Ahmed Johnson's
I bet what Mark Henry wanted to do like one last match, like to match the generation thing.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Come out. I won't fucking lie, Chef. I thought it was shit. Mate, I thought you wrote it. I thought you was pretending to be Mark Henry when I read this. I was like, fuck me, the burial is real.
I love that. I'm going to have to
check it
search
out.
that.
Oh, I've got to have a look at this. This is hilarious. Can't wait. Can't wait to see Ahmed Johnson in action at WrestleMania 13. But yeah, let's crack on. So there's a razor's edge, followed by Nash and Hall eliminating Benoit, who was indeed the standout performer in this match. Regardless of what everybody thinks about him or what happened in the future, in his wrestling career, up until the very end, he was a solid performer. And yes, I may have drank a lot of whiskey tonight, but I can clearly say Benoit was a standout performer in this match.
We can all say that, and you know, as long as we don't glorify what happened later in his life.
No, you can't. You can't glorify that. But
No,
bottom line, he's in the ring. He for me was a legend.
You got to think though, he's like
Hall of Fame career in ring ability only.
Yeah. Everybody loved like Jimmy Savile back in the day or whatever. No, but you know what I mean.
I wouldn't say
like,
this goes already.
No, like he was on BBC. He was doing all this stuff like for BBC or whatever, and then obviously all the shit come out. all the shit come out obviously later on.
Yeah, but that's when he died. Like, imagine if those people had the courage to stand up and speak up when he was alive.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Fucker would have suffered then, and that would have been what he deserved.
But that's obviously that tainted everything that he'd done then, because of obviously all the stuff that he'd done throughout his life.
Then you start watching stuff back, and it's like Gary Glitter as well. Like, you start noticing these things, like. You know, that I remember very recently, in fact, watching like just some random YouTube videos to, fill some time. And it was Gary Glitter on a This Is Your Life type of deal. And some bird came out and he was like, it's her from back in the day or whatever else. And he goes, yeah, I remember Gary coming around the house and, he had to stay there a little bit. Yeah, when I was skint and all of this. And she was like, yeah, we used to get all of my sister's school uniform friends round to pay a $5 to come and see Gary in his bedroom. And he was like, shh.
Yeah.
Like, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Cut it now.
But again, this is the BBC though as well, as much as anyone else. They're the ones that were putting them on there, and they got to have known by then. And there was
someone had to know, right? Someone had to know.
Yes.
Directors, producers, they must have known. They must have.
Fuck BBC and fuck your TV tap.
The point is as well, obviously, what happened with Benoit is that, like, obviously that shit that happened at the end. He didn't like. This wasn't him at this point. You know what I mean? It was like a sudden thing.
Yeah.
There was no sort of like history of like stuff's come out about him being a dickhead at this point and beating up his wife now in '97, beating up his wife in 2000, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It was just one of them things where he just snapped and something had happened. Like, there's no sort of history of violence and stuff all the way throughout his career. So you can't really say that just because he said he's a good wrestler now and he's a fucking dead good like athlete now. There's nothing wrong in saying that. I'm not saying he ended up being a nice person and he should be held. They should be building statues about him. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying
we have recently found it awkward to talk about Benoit by any stretch of the imagination. And again, hindsight's the thing. Like in the last match that we watched with Kevin Sutherland, even as I call him, there was that hanging spot, and it was, he was quite close to the edge of what we know happened. But at the same time,
then you wouldn't have thought anything of it.
No, of course you wouldn't have. It's Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs did it, so it wouldn't matter who did it. It looks awkward now.
Yeah.
Anyway, your internet connection is unstable. Luger makes his comeback, eliminating Savage with the torture rack, Nash over the top rope, Hall in the rack, and then it's Luger versus Hogan.
That crowd woke the fuck up.
That crowd did wake up, and do you know what? I was watching this and I was going, are they just going to annihilate Luger even, or are they going to let Luger, or are they going to let him have a comeback? And they did. And it made me think to our casket match, Don, I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
And the feedback that I had from Trent Seven at the end of our match was...
Your mate Ben.
My mate Ben was one more comeback from the babyface where he takes out the other two and then it's the one-on-one situation and then another screw job happens and the heels get on top again. That was his feedback. And I watched this and I thought, that's exactly what he was talking about. And it makes perfect sense watching this back, because although we didn't really want the NWO to win, that's what we got, and that's the direction that we were heading in. But they did it perfectly. The ending saved this match, if only slightly.
Well, like I said, the NWO is going to win anyway. It's just the fact that they want you to hate the fact that the NWO have won. So that's good booking, to be fair, in that sort of way.
I think with the stipulations as well, realistically, the WCW were never going to win.
Yeah.
Because of the stipulation, that's their hottest thing right now is NWO.
Yeah, no way.
Had a chance because you out of it, you're getting a match.
Yeah.
That's it. But for NWO to win as well, like, I agree though.
The crowd didn't want Piper to win. The crowd didn't want Piper versus Hogan in a cage. Who the fuck wanted that in 1997?
They had the chance and they blew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did.
They had. End of the day, you can tell from the elimination when Piper went over, that crowd did not react. When Luger woke up against the NWO, it was like watching a star being made. It's the only way I can describe it. It was like, oh my God, we've been sleeping on this.
And I almost felt that should have been Benoit's spot based on what had happened in this match.
Yeah. But if that's the way they went with it, and end of the day, it worked. It made me think, fuck me, you might actually win this. So,
that's the same old thing with WCW, though. It's all star power, isn't it? I'm like, let's put Hollywood Hogan or Hulk Hogan in a match with Roddy Piper. Like, two massive, like, 5-6 years ago. Maybe not now.
Yeah. When on the same card, you've got Guerrero versus Jericho. Yeah. And they will outwork them every day of the week.
It's just a bit, I think that's just WCW's booking at the time. And I think that was their downfall, to be honest. It's just like, oh, let's just...
The future of 90s wrestling in these mid-80s.
They just put the cards on the man. You know, Macho Man. He worked with Macho Man. Macho Man, in some cases, was fucking red hot with the stuff that he did. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till Mr. Perfect turns up, to be honest, and we can start talking about Kurt Hennig versus whoever. I can't wait till Bret Hart turns up and we can start talking about Bret Hart versus whoever. Now, don't get me wrong, we get Bret Hart in the WWF up until he joins WCW, but I just think those type of people enhance the roster and enhance the wrestling product versus what we're getting at this point in time in 1997.
To be fair, I liked Jeff Jarrett's switch as well from WWF to WCW when he was doing the
later on
gimmick. Yeah. That was a favourite of mine.
I'd agree.
With his like shiny metallic, cut off shorts.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I can't wait to see that version of Jeff Jarrett because I didn't really experience it back then. So to see it now, I'm quite excited about it.
Jeff Jarrett is gold, and I've said this since day one. So I don't want people to think I'm sucking his dick when we get to that point.
But we're here in 1997 saying that in the year 2000, for example.
Yeah, I'm 3 years ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
so
and his
position is gold.
And he's in his main event, and he's positioned himself in his main event because he's in with the Horsemen, and he's got his own little side story going on, but he's still in the main event.
He's fucking Deborah, and he's taking her back to the WWF for an Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
so love goes on, doesn't it?
The start of a new company eventually.
There we go.
We'll get to that.
We gave the finish away, so yes, the NWO do go over. Nash as the ref, as I mentioned. Luger gets the rack in, but a spray can to the eyes from Savage knocks out Luger.
Yeah.
We're talking, he should be pretending that he's blind. He should be selling the shit out of it. Instead,
he's commentary can't cover it up.
No, they can't.
They even said, I think he's been blinded.
Yeah, exactly.
Said that because it's unbelievable.
He's selling like he's been knocked out. Nah, of course he don't. Hogan wins, obviously, standard stuff. So 90 minutes, 22 seconds, the longest match on the card. It feels like a lifetime ago when we started talking about that first match, right? Look, I did give it half a star in the end. I was very torn on my rating, but half a star is what I give it. And I may have considered probably what happened after the bell to give me a little bit more. We'll get to that.
I've got half a star as well.
Okay.
I think I have to agree with what you've said about what happens after the bell. I think that's why I've rated it as such. So I have to agree, half a star.
Half a star. That's uncanny. That is. I like it. I like it a lot.
Can I just say as well, like Luger's look fucking stupid, ain't he? Really?
Yeah, of course.
Like, if I was Luger, I'd have said, you know what? No way am I lying down for that. No way am I being pinned after that. You blind me and then you hit me with something.
This is what I'm saying. If you whacked him in the back of the head like Savage, whack DDP in the back of the head earlier in the night.
Yeah, blind him. Yeah, come from behind him and hit him. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
That's better than what happened.
You've set up with that promo earlier in the night when Savage knocks out DDP.
You've knocked DDP unconscious.
Yeah. So you repeat that as the finishing spot. They know he can't get up from it. But instead...
Savage could have gone on with that. That could have been his sting. That could have been his sting.
In the eyes. Yeah, of course it could have.
You know what I mean?
But it wasn't. Sting does finally turn up. Go on.
Fuck yes. No, I just want to pop for Sting.
Steve.
There we go. Steve turns up. My mate Steve. Turns up with the bat. Not just turns up, he turns up with the bat. And he goes to town on the NWO.
Christian Bale or...
Nice. Bar Hogan.
I am the bad.
I am the Batman. Where is she? So Hogan.
Rachel.
Oh. How dare you fuck Harvey Dent? You two-faced bitch.
Two-faced bastard.
Yeah, nice, tight. So I don't know. Yeah, the crowd finally get an end to a pay-per-view where they can cheer. In my opinion,
yeah.
Hogan, for whatever reason, decides to go back in the ring, and I'll never understand why. Because at the end of the year, we obviously get Sting versus Hogan at Starrcade. Just don't touch each other. Just keep building that tension. But instead, he goes back in and he gets absolutely owned by Sting. And then the end credits it.
2 points I want to make, right?
Go
First one with the end credit. Why did no one have a surname? Everyone was just first names only.
Were they?
Yeah.
I switched off.
First name terms, weren't they?
I switched off.
Like just Keith or Greg or Jerome.
Really?
Yeah.
No surnames?
No surnames.
Okay, that's weird.
In the weird random, but then again, it looked like ransom notes, so it could have been that.
Yeah.
But in fairness, though, Sting, like the beginning.
Keith got a shout out on the show. To be fair, I remember Tony Schiavone at some point going, "Our producer Keith something has said that it was Rick Steiner, for example." I think it was that bit anyway. But yeah, carry on. Sorry, Don.
But the beginning of the match, the crowd. You hear the crowd audibly shouting, "We want Sting."
Yeah.
Who
doesn't want Sting?
Exactly. You've just put a team of 3 people where you've got an entire show. You could have gone, right, we need to bring in a replacement.
It's gone down quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, they could have got away with doing the whole Sting gets the one up on Hogan by hitting the death drop. I think they could have done that. I think what happens in December, however, is the thing that ultimately ruined that.
Yeah, look, with Brett getting involved as the ref and so on and so forth, it wasn't booked smartly, and ultimately started leading to the downturn of WCW.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made there. I mean, I personally have my own opinion.
Of course you do.
But
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that another point.
We've got a few years yet.
Yeah, but
what a project that we've taken on, and I am so excited about it.
Tell me about it. This is the thing, though, because we're talking about top 5s. Sting's my favourite wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I know. You haven't mentioned it at all once during the whole time that we've done a WCW event.
I'll make it.
I didn't know that.
Sting was the reason I went to wrestling.
I think Mankind, Mick Foley's in there as well, right?
Yeah, Mick Foley's in there as well. I've got a thing for people that don't show their face fully.
Okay.
But nah.
So
fuck.
That's it. You will be interested to know our average star rating for this pay-per-view was 1.4.
Oh.
Don, you've got the highest rating out of the 3 of us at 1.5 on average. But yeah, that's where we're at. So next time, lads, it is WrestleMania 13. And just to everybody else, though, be sure to follow us in between. Even more content on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
You can head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to get the latest updates from us. But until next time, I have been Rob Campbell alongside
that guy, Martin Holland.
And Daniel, it's that thing when you stand in the middle of people and they're masturbating and they come on your cornfield.
Bukaki. Yeah, we'll see you next time on Hot Tag Reviews. Take care, people.
It's been emotional.
It's been emotional. What do you mean, like, come?
For the greater good.